deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
If you're worried about your investments, you're not alone. These are challenging times, but it's not time to panic. It's time to act.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, founder and president of Compact Asset Management. With over 40 years of experience in the financial markets, I've seen what panic, indecision, and bad advice can do to investments. When markets are up, and especially when they're down, it is important to be decisive yet balanced. That's our approach at Compact Asset Management. Call my office today at pound 250 and say, talk to Mo. We will discuss a proactive, balanced approach to your portfolio that can help safeguard your investments and keep you on track with your financial goals. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's create a strategy for your investments today. Again, from your cell phone, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
A sapiosexual is the person who's attracted to intelligence. Do you choose brains over beauty? Like mind over muscle? Prefer Shakespeare?
To be or not to be?
To a puppeteer?
Hey, which one's the dummy?
So if you are sapiosexual and your current conversation is about to get, shall we say, intellectually stimulating, reach for Shakespeare Vodka, a thoughtfully engineered spirit with pure, smooth flavor that tastes like poetry in a bottle. Shakespeare Vodka, the taste of intelligence.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K256 Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time
for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we're just so happy to have Randy back that I thought today, Randy, we'll start talking baseball. We'll start with baseball. Then we'll talk about all the NBA games from last night and what's going to happen tonight. And then we got a lot of NFL draft stuff, some basic NFL news and things, and that ought to take us through the entire 3-hour show right there. But
absolutely,
in honor of your reappearance on the program, let's talk some baseball. Now, before we do, though, it's National Pretzel Day. Pretzel's a good thing to eat at a baseball game, right?
Oh, yeah, especially if you get one of those big ones and they're kind of crispy on the outside.
And
they're kind of gooey on the end. Not gooey, but you know what I mean? They're soft on the end. And you get some of that. Oh, and you get some of that mustard. I know how Berg loves mustard. You get some mustard and you dip it in there. Oh, my God.
I like it plain.
Woo! Oh,
you
my
do this?
God, it's so good.
Do you flick some of that salt off? Because it seems like there's an awful lot more salt on those than really needs to be there. Not because I'm health conscious. Sometimes it's just too much damn salt.
Yeah, sometimes if it's too salty, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll do that, and the person, a few rows in front of me thinks maybe it's snowing, but that's not my problem because I'm eating a damn pretzel and I'm happy. So, anyways, today is National Pretzel Day. And by the way, here's a couple of hookups for you guys. Maybe you get some free stuff. Two big brands are offering free hot pretzels. And yeah, it's the only two you can think of. There's only two. Auntie Anne's is offering one free original or cinnamon sugar pretzel today. You just have to download their app and sign up to do pretzel perks. I'll be honest, I wouldn't do that. I mean, you can get free fries from Burger King right now for a year. If you do that, I'm not doing that. Or you just stop by Wetzel's Pretzels and you just get a free one. No questions asked, no apps downloaded. Go to Wetzel's Pretzels basically right now, between now and the time they close, and free pretzel. Simple as that. I like Wetzel's Pretzels.
Excellent.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I've had it a couple times. That's very nice. Very nice. Very good.
You'll probably not get that kind of deal at the park. If you're watching a baseball game, you're not going to get that. I'd almost guarantee you're not going to get that. So anyway, so let's talk baseball, Randy. Speaking of baseball food, hot dogs, beer, probably the best part of going to the game almost, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. Of course, there's some of those brats. Brats are good.
Yeah, brats, right.
Got to have a brat and a beer, maybe. Yeah, but go ahead. What do you got?
I know that the Berg hates mustard. I know he does. And listen, I don't care if you put mustard on your hot dog. I don't care if you put just ketchup on your hot dog. I don't care if you put mayonnaise on it, relish on it. I don't care if you put sauerkraut on it. I ain't eating it. And you just eat what you like, and you shouldn't give a crap what anybody else thinks. You want to put pineapple on that pizza? You go. You put pineapple on that pizza. You want sardines? Knock yourself out. There's no wrong answer to the food you put in your mouth. I'm thinking about that. Maybe there is. But anyway,
I mean, as long as it doesn't kill you, I guess.
Right. Or someone else. So one Yankees fan, the Yankees, he was caught doing his thing. He had his beer. He had his hot dog, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody behind him saw him bloop, dipping his hot dog in his beer like it was a sauce. Just bloop, bloop, and eating his hot dog. People lost their ever-loving mind about this.
I don't know why.
It's really nobody's business. If the guy wants to do it, and maybe you watch the competitive eaters, they'll dip their hot dogs in water.
Yeah.
He was just sitting there enjoying his life, doing his thing. People are like, "Oh, that's horrible. How could he?" Oh, like, hey, don't knock it till you try it. Maybe you should try that. I always say, I'll try almost anything food-wise first before I say, "Nah, I ain't gonna do that." Yeah, so I can't say that's a bad thing. I can kind of say, not sure I'm interested in doing that, but, I'm not going to tell somebody else they're an idiot or wrong for doing it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's the difference? You take a bite, drink a beer, or dip it in the beer, take a bite. They all end up in the same place, your mouth.
I don't see the problem with it, especially if the guy's bun. And by the way, ballpark hot dogs notoriously, depending on where you're at and what ballpark, but I venture to say Yankee Stadium ballpark hot dogs and their buns, and not the best buns. And so you add a little flavor to it. You dip that in your Budweiser or whatever you've got there, your beer of choice. Give it a little more flavor. Maybe this gentleman had a stale hot dog bun, and he was trying to moisten it up a little bit.
Yeah. And remember, it's New York City, which means most health code violations are avoided by slipping a guy a hundy. So here's the other part. My wife always says, if you go down to Rocky Point or you go to Mexico and you're eating some of the dishes there, take a shot of tequila before and it's a shot of tequila after, and that could kill most anything that would make you sick. So in his defense, he could have been killing off some germs.
Could be. Maybe he wanted to avoid the diarrhea. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, nobody wants diarrhea. Nobody wants diarrhea. Nobody wants to projectile vomit. Nobody wants to. Right. And if you're in New York City, whatever's in that hot dog, it ain't regulation. So that's the next step if you're not careful. So anyways, but everybody was making a big damn stink about this. And I'm here to say, shut the hell up. Yeah. Keep your mind and your eyes on your own work.
Yeah.
There is an entire subgenre of social media that is basically people recording other people doing things that they think are weird and then complaining about it on the internet. That's what's going on here. It's just, I think that guy's weird, so I'm going to try and make fun of him by turning to everybody else and going, see how weird this guy is? And
okay, the caption on this was "Arrest that man."
Yeah,
that's. If I saw that, I'd be like, "Huh." I'd recorded it. I'd posted and said, "Any of you guys do this? You just saw this guy doing this. I don't do this. Don't think I want to do this, but would you do this?"
The person recording it already decided it was bad.
This guy was about to be in handcuffs as that guy had his way, and not in the kinky way. 888-368-1580. Jagdog says, Wetzel's pretzels at the Suns game, delicious. Try them with caramel sauce. Sounds gross, but it's actually friggin' good.
See,
I would
now, arrest that man. Caramel sauce and a pretzel. Come on.
Arrest that man so I can have his pretzel and caramel sauce.
Yeah,
That's what I want to do. But you see right there, at the Suns game, I would not count on anything being free. Because if there's a Wetzel's Pretzels at the Foot Fungus Arena, they are not going to give you it. You can ask. You can try. You can say, hey, it's free pretzel day. They're going to say, well, not here. This is a different universe. You'll pay $19.50 for this pretzel and like it.
Yeah.
By the way, Jagdog wants to know if he can get a crown on the rocks for the Suns beatdown tonight after they pull their heads out of their boot holes and knock some heads.
There
he
you go.
says, hello, Jeffrey and Keon.
What about me?
Hello,
what am
Jagdog.
Am I Wetzel's pretzel? What
Well,
am
he
I?
said hi to you first.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't an exclusion like some of these other guys do.
All right.
Thunder Snow says, good afternoon, gentlemen, and thank God Randy is back. Ralph is insufferable. Well,
boy.
Ralph will be with us on Thursday, so
Oh, boy.
prepare to suffer. Bob Schwersky said, hey, Randy, thank God you're back. Don't leave these guys unsupervised for that long again. I
Thank
think
you,
we did
Bob.
fine without supervision. And what makes you think he's the one supervising? Crow Dog says, the wife and I made homemade soft pretzels and beer cheese.
Oh, boy. There you go.
I've never
The
had beer cheese.
Oh,
You?
you got to try that.
I
Yeah, the
will.
beer cheese.
Wait, what's it like?
Oh, it's rich, flavorful cheese. Oh my God, it's good. Yeah, you got to try it.
I've had
beer
beer
cheese. You got to
farts,
try that. Yeah.
but never beer cheese.
Well, no, it doesn't give you the beer farts. It might
Yeah.
give you the beer runs, I guess, but but it's not going to give you the beer farts because the whole process, it gets rid of the carbonation, but you get that that taste of the beer and the cheese together. Oh my God, it's good. You won't get any of that.
Yeah,
from the beer
maybe
cheese.
it's the other way with cheese. You get the cheese squeeze. That's what
Mhm.
happens. That's
Yeah.
why all them people in the Midwest are so damn fat. Nothing leaves their body because it's blocked by cheese.
Yeah, yeah, it's all bound up in there. Yeah.
You think I'm making this up, Keon? I'm not. It's science. You should look it up.
Okay, I'll check
Big
it out.
George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. Let's be honest. Wetzel pretzel is better than Auntie Anne's pretzels. Have you ever had the Wetzel pretzel dog bites? Those are pretzel wrapped little smokies. They are divine.
Mm.
Let's be honest. There's nothing divine about Wetzel's pretzels or Auntie Anne's. Don't use the
So,
word divine. That's just BS.
On the trip, Miss Kim brought some snacks. You know, she does that little snick snacks on the airplane because they don't give you anything of any substance on the airplane. And so she got some of these. These were pretzels with the peanut butter inside.
Mhm.
Okay,
Love
which
those,
is
yeah.
already won.
Mhm.
Already won the game with that right there.
Yep.
But then you add the next level of they're dipped in chocolate.
Oh, I've never had that.
Oh,
I have to have that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's changed the game, Randy.
38,000 feet, about 350 miles an hour, and I'm eating dipped chocolate with with peanut butter in the middle.
Was the Mile High Club in your mouth?
Ah!
You're damn right.
Yeah.
I've had the chocolate. I've had the peanut butter pretzels, but I've never dipped it in chocolate. Gonna do that, honey. If you're listening, you know what to do. Jagdog, thank you for that. Donnie says, big game tonight. Wolves in 6. Whatever. Blissful Hayes says, good afternoon, Jeffrey, Randy, Keon, Fourth Dimension. I hope today's show isn't 3 hours of crying about refs again. Go Suns.
I mean, 3 hours of telling you what your eyes say. I don't know. Like, why are you against observation? I don't understand that.
No, I think we observed yesterday. I think we should move on. The Suns. Just had
I'm not going on about it again. But
it's just a observation about a game. How the game was unfairly officiated. But on top of that, the Suns did not play up to their potential. And I feel that tonight there'll be an ass kicking going on here in Phoenix, and everybody will just calm the hell down.
Monty Williams got his $15,000 fine for talking about the officiating the other day. And, I am sure that is money well spent, in his opinion, because, he makes, what did I say? It was about $3 million a year.
Yeah.
And, if that's just a little part of the tool chest for your job, $15,000, okay. You know what? These words need to be said. I'll pay for the privilege. And the other thing is I'm the owner of the Suns, Robert Sarver, and I saw this happening, and I go to Monty and say, listen, you give your money, $15,000, just give that to charity, and I will pay your fine. That way, let's make some good come of this together.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that Mr. Sarver would allow Monty Williams to pay that fine. I'm sure the Suns took care of that.
I'm pretty sure I would be an amazing team owner if I was ever given the chance.
Heck yeah.
I mean, there'd be all sorts of things that I would do. And of course, I mentioned that to Keon earlier, and he said, yeah, the bar's not high for being better than the 32 guys who are running the NFL and some of the guys who are running the NBA, Major League Baseball, and et cetera. So it is a pretty low bar to leap to, but I'll leap even farther, Keon. I'll leap even higher as a team owner.
Dare I say team emperor? Dare I say team emperor?
If I am made emperor and you were to bestow $1 billion on me, Jeffrey O'Brien, by golly, I would make sure that the one team that I could afford to buy would be the best team in all of the land. There would be none of the nonsense that you see these days. And I would be that one lone wolf leader at the NFL meetings or the MLB meetings or the NBA meetings or the NHL meetings. I would make it right. I would speak the truth.
Yes.
I'd be the best owner of all sports.
I know you would. I wish that could happen very soon.
If not for the fact I do not have $1 billion.
Yet.
Close.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'll let you know. That's why I need to be emperor, so I can just, take the money.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can also take all the teams away from all the owners and give them to, like, I'll be driving down the road. Hey, you want to own the Panthers? I don't know. Okay, how about how about the Packers? Oh, yeah. All right, it's yours. See ya. And there you go. That's how I would start just handing out teams to just random people. And
as emperor, you would drive yourself around then?
No, I'd be in the. I don't like. I get car sick if somebody else is driving. I could never have a chauffeur. So
okay, all right.
That's why I use driverless cars. No thanks. No.
Yeah,
don't
that's
want.
a no.
Yeah, and you saw that one that it was like I guess the Tesla has a thing where it's like bring my car to me button, and you hit the button and the car comes and finds where you are. And well, this car where they were at an airport, like a private airport, and it's like, here comes my car. And the car, it was like, oh, I know where Bob is. Unfortunately, there's a $3 million plane between Bob and the Tesla, and the Tesla did not work out the sloping back into the plane. Thought it was a clear shot, but the plane was kind of the tail of the plane was like this, and it hit the plane and kind of spun it, back, around as it's like, well, I don't know, there's nothing. I'm just finding Bob. And so imagine explaining that on your to your insurance company.
The car did it.
Value of the plane. I'm driving under a bridge. That's not going to be cheap. 888-368-1580. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Taco Tuesday, guys. I'll take an 805, please, and go Raiders. And no, stop the music. He doesn't deserve it. And he says, go refs. Shut up, Mars.
Oh, okay.
Thunder Snow says, oh no, Robert Sarver is not even cracking open that wallet to help old Monty Williams out. He's on his own. He's no Jeffrey O'Brien, that's for sure. Thank you, Thunder Snow. Mr. Wilbur says, what would the team name be? The O'Briens, the Randys, the Keons? I didn't say I was going to change any team names unless they're stupid and racist. Outside of that, I would keep the team the same thing. Blissful Hayes says, I'm predicting the Suns will win tonight if they score more points than the Pelicans.
Hey, how about that?
Don't quote him. It's a hunch. It's just a hunch.
That's a very in-depth analysis right there. You're only going to hear that on this radio program.
Yeah. And listen, we are going to talk more about those things here in a minute, but I promised Randy some baseball. So here is some actual baseball. Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks 4-0 yesterday.
Yeah, for a fourth time this season, Diamondbacks have been shut out. What a surprise. The Diamondbacks still can't hit.
Yeah.
That's left over from last year where they were toward the bottom of the league. in batting. And, Ferris Bueller got out there and threw a gem. Oh, by the way, the umpires helped him out.
Of course.
The strike zone was at least an inch outside all the way around. So Dodgers win 4-0. Diamondbacks lose again.
The good news is they did not lose today because the game's not till tonight.
Right.
So that'll probably not go.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Anyway, so the next thing is Trevor Bauer, I guess, has filed a lawsuit against the woman who accused him of sexual assault. Now, of course, the law has decided they're not going to come after him. They're not going to press any charges against him. He's going to be fine there. But in a civil situation, who knows? And Major League Baseball, of course, still has the discretion to decide if they want to, they've already sanctioned him quite a bit by, pushing out how long he is not in baseball.
Administrative leave.
Right. I don't know how much administration he's administrating, but he's gone. So now he's filed a lawsuit against the woman who's accused him of all this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, I don't think she's got any money. So are you going to take payments, or how does that even work other than
I don't know what's going. I don't know what he's actually after. It might be just to slander her, as she tried to do to him. And apparently he has some texts from her that will indict her pretty easily of trying to extort money from him, or she would go to the officials. She did. It worked out for Trevor Bauer. However, it's really put a black eye on his career. And so now I guess I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know if
the
he's looking
name
for
of the
money
lady,
or.
Did they ever release the name? Because I'm pretty sure it's Amber Heard.
I
just got a hunch.
Amber Heard. That's You just pulled that one right out of the air. What?
No. That's Johnny Depp's ex who accused him of all sorts of stuff. And then now, as all the information is coming out, looks like he was the abused one. He was the harassed one. And at first, everybody's like, cancel Johnny Depp. Now everybody's realizing, oh my God, Amber Heard is the problem, not him. And it was horrible because if a woman had said, okay, this is what has happened to me, everybody would be like, oh my God, that's horrible, we're so sorry that happened to you. And then that guy would be filleted. Flip it around and you hear what's happened to Johnny Depp, that a woman has done to him, abused him, and done horrible things to him, and nothing. In fact, and she's even they've got I don't know if it's a recording or a text where she says, nobody's going to believe you, Johnny, that I have abused you because you are a man, you are a white man, and nobody would, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to mock you because nobody's going to believe that little me would do these things. And he's like, well, that is exactly what I am. And he's like, it's taken some time. His career has taken some massive hits, but now it's all coming out. It was her the entire time. So, when you look over here at what's going on with Trevor Bauer, I think it's kind of both of them.
Yeah.
Because they've admitted, well, that's just the way we like to do things. So she got greedy, and he still kind of comes across as a dirtbag on this, but fair is fair. I guess, Trevor Bauer, shouldn't he be playing baseball yet?
He should be, but he still has to, he's got to face off with the MLB. And if they're going to, enact some sort of discipline on him for causing this sort of ruckus. But I mean, if I'm the commissioner, I mean, time served. How is this? Yeah. How has this hurt the game? It's hurt him more than it's hurt the game.
Especially since he was playing and then they went ahead and yanked him again.
Right.
Time served, and maybe just get another hobby. Maybe not. Maybe
or
not
choose your partners a little more wisely.
There's going to be some signed disclosures. Freak. Yeah. Anyway, I don't mean to kink shame, but when you hurt somebody, I'm going to kink shame that one. If you're hurting somebody, I'm against it. I just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, listen, we have to take a break. When we come back, that's all the baseball I've got, Randy, unless you got anything.
Only one thing.
Angel Hernandez, you stink, and I don't like you.
Well, there was a little Kyle Schwarber, Angel Hernandez showdown last night, I think.
All right, well, tell us about that when we come back. because I'm always good for a good Angel Hernandez smackdown. And then we're going to talk some NBA. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The Arizona Diamondbacks in action tonight against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers are favored. They pay out at -210 on the money line, while the Diamondbacks, if they get the win with Zach Davies on the mound, they would pay out at +176. The over-under has been set at 9.5 runs. The Arizona Coyotes on the road tonight to take on the Minnesota Wild. The Wild really heavy favorites. They're paying out at -630 on the money line. The Coyotes would pay out at +450 if they get the win. And the Phoenix Suns tonight, they are sitting as 6.5-point favorites against the New Orleans Pelicans. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of a new LG laundry pair with Turbo Wash 3D that provides a powerful yet gentle clean in just 29 minutes, making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Save up to $700 on LG laundry with your choice of top load or front load LG high capacity laundry pairs at the Home Depot. Valid April 21st to May 11th. US only. Gas dryer extra. While supplies last. See store for details.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
Medical data brought to you from Summit Male Medical Center. Over half of the guys over the age of 45 have some type of erectile dysfunction. If you fall into this category, you are obviously not alone. Don't worry about it. Do something about it. Call Summit Male Medical at 480-398-1000. Let our Arizona licensed doctors and all male medical staff using FDA-approved medication help you enjoy your life again. We guarantee it. Low testosterone? Common signs are muscle loss, irritability, weight gain, decreased libido. Our testosterone therapy will turn you around. Discreet, professional, and we are successful. Don't let getting older get you down. Call today, 480-398-1000. That's 480-398-1000. Or go to summitmalemedical.com. What are you waiting for? Call today. 480-398-1000.
Arizona Rattlers football.
Exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Tune in to hear every home game live.
Let's go, boys.
Don't miss a second of all the high-paced action as the Rattlers chase another world championship.
Hey, if we're going to win, it's going to be on us.
Rattlers football on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Or streaming live at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We are talking some baseball and stuff. We're going to talk about the NFL draft here in a moment, but right now I got something called breaking news here on the Daily Blender.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
Well, I guess that NCAA President Mark Emmert has decided it's not as much fun now that they got to let those kids have the NIL, so he's decided to quit. He's stepping down at the end of 2023. So I don't know if this is going to mean great things for NCAA moving forward, but Mark Emmert has decided he's done. He's out of there next year. So why are they announcing this? Like, there's a whole year in between now and then. Why wouldn't he just quit when the time comes? Who needs to give a year and plus notice? This is silly to me.
I think there's going to have to be a transitional period of, replacing not just Mark Emmert, but, a lot of the people that work under him and any structural changes that need to be involved in the NCAA. That would be my guess why he would say, hey, I'm saying this a year in advance. I could just quit at the time, but if I say I'm going to quit and then somebody tells the media, it could become a giant thing. So I'm just going to say, hey, I'm quitting. And then now everybody knows, and it's not something that can be leaked.
This is a great opportunity for the NCAA to just go ahead and disband and start letting the conferences govern each conference. I think they could probably do it better anyway. So maybe it's time for the NCAA to just kind of break up and float off into space somewhere.
Well, they're not going to do that. They'd have to be abandoned. They will not disband.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying. I'm just mentioning, just giving an observation that this would be a good time to jettison them. Yeah.
Sure. You're absolutely 100% right. Ain't going to happen, but you're right.
Yeah.
So before we finish up with the basketball there, Keon had brought up that Noah Syndergaard, popular Danish director of such movies of Look What I Have in My Lunchbox and Take a Look at That Fish.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Noah Syndergaard has said, he's got some beef with Angel Hernandez. Of course, I think everyone does.
And also the Phillies last night, Kyle Schwarber.
It was Kyle Schwarber. I thought it was Noah Syndergaard.
No.
Sorry.
But
I got no jokes about director Kyle Schwarber. I got nothing. That's just a guy who works at the Tasty Freeze. So
Kyle Schwarber, he worked at the Tasty Freeze, but he did have that blockbuster hit back in the 70s, that hot Macon, Georgia night.
That's right.
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber. Yeah,
but we're talking about Kyle Schwarber, not Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah,
right. And Kyle got into it with Angel Hernandez because he basically got to a full count, and then when he thought he was being walked, Angel Hernandez called the ball a strike, and Kyle lost his mind. He was yelling at him, screaming at him, and everything else. There was also a play in that game where Bryce Harper doesn't swing. It's a ball. It's called a strike, of course. And back to the bench goes Bryce Harper. So he was absolutely terrible. And they were keeping track of his stats last night, Angel Hernandez. And
shouldn't they every night?
They do, but there is a Twitter account called Umpire Auditor, and all they do is track what umpires do and how badly they miss. Angel Hernandez was the lowest rated umpire last night. He missed 19 calls for a percentage of 85%. He rang up 6 batters on pitchers that were outside the zone and called a strike to John Segura that missed the inside by a season high 6.47 inches. So that is the worst call that anyone has made this season. Objectively, he is absolutely terrible, and the fact that he continues to be allowed to officiate is concerning.
Well, this is where Dutch film director and baseball player Noah Syndergaard comes in, because yesterday he tweeted out, "I'm here for Angel Hernandez strike zone forever. #Angels Unite," meaning as a pitcher, you love the guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have a strike zone, so generous that even when you throw a ball, it's a strike. Yeah, every pitcher in baseball is gonna love that, and your stats are gonna get a nice little boost anytime Angel Hernandez is calling a game.
But see, again, here's the situation. That Angel Hernandez is behind the plate. He is a horrible umpire. Hey, go up there and swing away, man. Find the first pitch. Don't work the count because it doesn't work. Go up there, see the ball, hit the ball, put the ball in play. Don't worry about hitting one with a launch angle of 97 degrees and exit velo of 687 miles an hour. Just go up and hit the ball and move guys around. That's how you deal with a terrible umpire.
Put it where they're not. Try to get a line drive. Like Randy says, forget about the J-Lo. Forget about those things.
Exactly.
Forget about the angle thing. Just hit the damn ball.
Yeah,
Hit the
launch
damn ball.
angle. Yeah.
Hit the ball. Hit the ball. Just hit the ball. Put the ball out there. You know, I think it's better to pop out, to hit a ball and line drive out or even ground out than it is to strike out. I know that there's that thought process that you just got to get on base, but when you got Angel there, rule's gone.
There's no guarantee. And he said after the game that he is not anti-umpire. He's not for robots calling the game. He likes.
I am.
He said it's fun to have an umpire back there and have to figure out what the deal is and negotiate that. And that's part of it. But there's no excuse for what Angel Hernandez did. It's just he's not just kind of off. He's really wrong and about as bad as we've gotten this sport.
You shouldn't have to negotiate with somebody who is that horrible. Now, there's a guy where there's a little bit of leeway this way. He kind of does that. Like the inside ones are a little bit, he calls that. Or, you've got this little, maybe he doesn't, is a little lower or maybe a little higher. It shouldn't be so glaringly horrible. It should be something where you're like, okay, I know this guy. I know how he calls. I'm going to work that. But with Angel Hernandez, you're working a garage door size strike zone, and it's really hard to do anything other than what Randy said, and it's just try to hit the ball, hope for the best.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly how you attack it. When I was playing ball, although again, I will say again, I was never at the major league level, but I did play ball most of my life. If you're up there and you've got an umpire who's a jackwad behind the plate and doesn't know what he's doing, then you got to go up and you got to hit the ball when you have the opportunity. Don't stand there and work the damn count. It's not going to work for you.
Robert in Surprise says, my old college coach once told me, close enough to call strike, close enough to get hit. Just hit the ball. You're close enough to get a hit.
Yeah. I just think that some of these guys, because when you're going up against pitchers of a certain caliber, what you're trying to do is push that guy as far as you can push him and see if he won't make the mistake for you. And so I understand you just got to put the ball in play, but that's normally what your mindset is. I'm going up against the pitcher and there's this chess match between me and him.
Yes.
Only now I got to worry about the guy behind me too.
Well, and normally there is that game between you and the pitcher. The bottom line is you can't play that game when you've got somebody of Angel Hernandez caliber behind the plate. You have got to go anything close. You've got to be putting that ball into play. And you're exactly right. Instead of standing there, Jeffrey, and taking a called third strike or swinging and missing, swinging, I'd rather see a guy go down, swing and miss than I would to have him stand there and look at a called third strike. That drives me absolute bananas.
Well, it's well documented.
If you put the ball in play, you've got more of an opportunity of that fielder booting it or, causing an error or something.
Get your wheels on.
There you go.
And by the way, it's well documented that both Randy and I are against people taking walks on purpose. It's just well documented, especially when Angel Hernandez is behind the plate.
Yeah, if it's Angel Hernandez, because I understand where Kyle Schwarber is coming from, especially because that call was, if you go back and watch it's bad. Like there's no reasonable way you should have expected Kyle Schwarber to swing at that, except that Angel Hernandez was the guy that's back there.
The thing I kind of wonder about with the Twitter account that judges the performance of the umpires and stuff is how are they able to get the right angle to be sure that they're right? If they're just using the TV square as their guide, we all know that's not exact. You don't know the exact position of the camera. You don't know exactly where that strike zone is. So I'm kind of curious on how they are able to be accurate with their findings, other than it seemed that way. So any of the reports on, and I'm not sticking up for Angel Hernandez, don't get the wrong idea. I'm always a fan of, if you're doing this, make sure you're right. Make sure you've got the facts right. So I'm kind of curious how they are able to ensure accuracy of their own, report card on an umpire.
Well, there is a system in all the major league stadiums, Jeffrey, that is accurate, and it is tuned to accurately read a ball's position as it crosses the plate, whether it's up or down or in the strike zone or out of the strike zone, and it's a very exacting thing. Now, these guys might be getting that data. They might have found some way to get the data from Major League Baseball umpires. I don't know, but there is a system in play, and that's when a lot of people say, "Oh, well, these robot umpires, it's a robot." Well, they're going to utilize that system, and TV has utilized a system using complex math. That's how they can put that box up there. It's like the yellow line on the football field, but it is pretty damn accurate. It's pretty damn close. So maybe these guys are, they figured out some way to get that data. I don't know.
Well, guess what you just did? You just made the case for robot umpires calling strikes and balls.
Well, listen, it's going to happen anyway. I mean, people are going to whine and complain about Angel Hernandez and some of these other guys, and a lot of good men out there, and possibly women. There's some women calling balls and strikes and umpiring the minor leagues that haven't made it to the bigs yet, that are going to be put out of work.
No, they're going to be put out of work. They're still going to have a guy back there. They will always still have a guy back there. He'll be relaying the information that has been collected by the robo umpire. He'll still be saying ball, strike, and also be able to override if the computer gets some aspect of it like completely ridiculously wrong. And they got to be on the plate to be able to see where the guy slides. Did he touch home plate? The robo strike counter thing isn't going to do that. So you still have a guy behind the plate. Nobody's losing their job.
We agree to disagree.
Am I wrong?
I guess you're going to need fewer people. So somebody's.
How is it fewer? You still have a guy behind the plate.
Yeah, but you have I don't know, are there not other officials that are out there that keep their eye on that as well, and you just are reducing
you will the way in its iteration the most recent iteration I saw, there is a guy that is behind the plate now.
It's called the umpire.
Yes, but are you going to have these long tenured major league umpires like Angel Hernandez, for example? He's going to be one of the guys that's going to take his retirement and get out of here. And is the union going to allow this to go on? Are they going to have to hire?
How do they stop Major League Baseball? How do they stop Major League Baseball?
I'm just telling you what I've read. I can't explain it eloquently enough right now to make sense out of it. But a lot of the umpires you see on the field right now won't be there. These will be people they'll bring in. Major League Baseball they'll train them the rules and they'll put them on the field. I don't think the umpires union is going to look kindly on this. I don't know. There's a lot of battling to go on with Major League Baseball at this point about the robot umpire coming to the bigs, but
hopefully they'll find a common sense way where everything can be worked together, but we can at least, if nothing else, just get the damn strikes and balls called correctly. Is that so hard? All right, we have to take a break. When we come back, we will get caught up on the text line. Got a lot of people on there, and I am quite behind on that. So we'll get to your text when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3
The Fanatic,
and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of a new LG laundry pair with Turbo Wash 3D that provides a powerful yet gentle clean in just 29 minutes, making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Save up to $700 on LG laundry with your choice of top load or front load LG high capacity laundry pairs at the Home Depot. Valid April 21st to May 11th. US only. Gas dryer extra. Wash by glass. See store for details.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. 800-438-8173. That's 800-438-8173.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So here's the rundown for NBA tonight. You got the Hawks playing the Heat. Now, of course, Miami is probably going to close this out tonight, you would think. And then you got, that's at 4 p.m. So then at 4:30, why would they do this? Why are they having 2 games roughly starting at the exact same time? Is that just because they think the Suns-Pelicans game is going to be the ratings barn burner? I mean, that whole series has turned silly if you're the rest of the country. So, but the Timberwolves and Grizzlies, that happens at 4:30 p.m. and that their series is tied 2-2. But if you hear any Minnesota fans talk, oh, it's in the bag. It's in the bag for the Timberwolves. The Suns are going down in flames, but it's in the bag for the Timberwolves. It's the exact same scenario.
Yeah. And the Timberwolves are the underdog here. I think the advantage they have is that the Memphis Grizzlies don't have much playoff experience either. But this series is far from over.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. 4 o'clock, Hawks Heat, 4:30, Timberwolves Grizzlies, and 7 p.m. You got the Suns hosting the Pelicans at the Foot Fungus Center. We will talk more about that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and get caught up on the text line. Senior Wake and Bake is here. He says, "Sup, trio? Screw Ralph. Damn Eddie Haskell wannabe jackass bumper thumper." We like Ralph, Senior Wake and Bake, even though he's an insufferable, in 2 ways. LA fan, anything LA he's a fan of, and he's also a bandwagon jumper. So he'll always be a fan of whatever team is about to win the championship. So, but outside of that, we like Ralph quite a bit. You need to learn to love Ralph, or just learn to love to hate Ralph. Whatever it works. Just we like Ralph.
Embrace the differences. Embrace them.
Yeah, I'm not embracing him. He gave me COVID. I mean, I've never hugged him.
Embrace the differences, Jeffrey. Don't embrace him. Embrace the differences.
Donnie says, "What time is the NFL draft segment? I'd like to release my mock draft to everybody." Well, you can do that on Twitter because we are only doing one mock draft. Randy and I are going to mock Keon's draft, his mock draft on Thursday before we step aside for CBS Sports to do their draft coverage at 5 p.m. So we will mock Keon's draft on Thursday. Have you worked on it? Have you got it all figured out? Are you still sort of working with a pencil?
Yeah, I'm still kind of working with a pencil on it. I'm going through it and just trying to get into the mindset, because I can't predict what teams you're going to do. So I am going to draft as though I were the general manager of that team. And who would I take right there if I were the person who had to draft for?
Now, have you been scrubbing through hours and hours and hours of tape, watching these players and breaking it all down and what the team's needs are and all that sort of thing?
Are you chain smoking cigarettes and drinking pots and pots of coffee in each hand as you go through, watching this tape, making the phone calls, talking to agents, talking to scouts? Well, have you had a minimum of sleep on a small cot back in your office? Have you seen the light of day, Keon? Are you really in on this mock draft?
Well, I mean, look, I haven't slept in weeks. Okay. This is just, late nights on the couch, pouring over the all 22 footage of what happened at a UAB game to try and figure out what's going on. I'm dedicated to the bit right here. I'm completely in, all chips into the middle of the tape.
And it's also a good excuse to just ignore the girlfriend for a minute and just watch sports. That's your excuse. Honey, this is for work. This is for work.
Because she'll join me and watch football during the NFL season. Getting her to settle down and watch Florida and Texas A&M, from this past season on a random Thursday afternoon, it's not as effective as
not going to work
as you hope.
Yeah. She says you're pushing your luck. You're pushing your luck. All right. We'll have Keon's mock draft, and Randy and I will mock it on Thursday. Mr. Pink Eye says, will you guys be having an NFL draft special? Well, we were going to do a very Daily Blender draft, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes here at a lot of busy things and craziness. And we were like, you know what? We'll do it next year. We'll do it. Not only will we do it next year, a very Daily Blender draft special, but we're going to do it out in the public. Because I've always said, what's the one thing that is a hitch between us and going out and doing a remote? And that is whiskey. Yeah, whiskey is number one. Number two, that they have the antiviral for COVID widely available. And it has been announced that is now reality. So everybody has a fair shot. You get yourself a vaccine? No? Okay, well, at least there's a pill you can take if you do catch the COVID. They'll give you a 90% chance of not getting hospitalized. Now, with these things in place, you have a chance to get a vaccination. If you're against it, fine. At least there's a pill that's going to help you if you do catch it. And there you go. It's like now you've got it. Now it gets to be kind of like a flu, we hope. You know what I mean? It becomes another flu because you can get vaccinated for the flu. Not everybody does. But now there's a Z-Pack, if you will, for COVID. That's what's been holding us back. Now I can say, for the most part, I mean, I don't know what happens next. I don't know if some other creepy crawly version of this COVID pops back up and then like the antivirals don't work against it. Oh God, it's like Godzilla of viruses. Every time we think it's done, here it comes up out of the water. But at this moment, feeling pretty good about the fact we can start doing live remote broadcasts again if somebody will have us. So there you go, Mr. Pink Eye. No, not this week. But very soon now, there is zero reason we can't go out in public.
Well, that's exciting news.
Well, except for Randy's priors. There is an issue where we need to at least have an escape plan for Randy where he can.
I did talk to my parole officer today. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can ditch student loan people. You can't ditch a parole officer. You can't ditch them. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. It's not really mine to say. So Fish Tank says, well, fellas, I could really use a shot of Jameson and a beer. Hey, Randy can take care of that. He says, I walked out to my truck, turned over the key, and it was loud as hell. Turns out somebody cut out my catalytic converter in the night.
Man alive!
But did it sound awesome? No. That's just you have to have a catalytic converter or else you're polluting everything. But did it at least kind of sound awesome? I mean, I'm kind of curious because you get a muffler stuff done on a muscle car. You're like everything from the cat back. Why? Well, because you have to have the catalytic converter. What if I didn't have the catalytic converter? It'd sound awesome. So I'm just kind of curious. Pro Dog says, how about those first place Seattle Mariners? It's a little early, Pro Dog.
Yeah, but still, how about those first place Seattle Mariners? And the weird thing is, last season at this time and this season at the time, they're almost identical numbers for the Seattle Mariners. But they've got a good team. The one that surprises me is the Texas Rangers. They spent all that money in the offseason, and they're sitting down in the basement like they're really accustomed to doing.
The Reaper says, hope you guys are having a great day. I was in the hospital for a while. Go Rams, going to be a good year. Why were you in the hospital, Reaper? I mean, it's none of my business. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I hope everything is okay. Good to hear from you again. It's been since February 28th, so hopefully all is well with you, pal. Robert in Surprise says, I do agree. Angel Hernandez is horrible. There's a lot of umpires that make bad calls, but they're mostly consistent on the same bad calls, though. And by the way, that box on the TV doesn't seem to change with the batter's height. I was under the impression that a strike zone was from the knees to the belly button. I think it's a little bit bigger than that. A little taller.
I don't think it's the belly button, but
isn't it about the chesticles?
It's just they say
chesticles.
They say it's about the belt, right about the belt, down to the knees, top of the knees. That's the quote unquote strike zone. But I can look it up in the rule book and see exactly what it is.
Well, when you find out, let Angel Hernandez know.
Will do.
Blissful Hay says Angel Hernandez is proof that Major League Baseball is rigged. When will there be robot players? I think you've missed the point here.
Yeah.
Last Optimist says the union not policing Angel Hernandez is why they're going to lose their jobs. Yeah. I mean, honestly, when somebody has that sort of protective absolute power, then you got to do something. Thunder Snow says, I don't always agree with Senior Wake and Bake, but today I do. Ralph is a thumper bumper, whatever he said. Senior Wake and Bake says, how about this? Give all the umps shot collars.
So when they make a bad call, it's like, bah!
So the robo ump sees it. If he calls it wrong, that's a good way to learn fast. That is a good way to learn fast. Big George says, don't worry, Randy. I'll help you out of any trouble you may have with the law. Parole officers are easy.
Thanks, Big George. I knew I could count on you.
They're not cheap, but they're easy.
Yeah.
The Reaper says, I'm not going to read this because I don't know if you want me to, but holy moly, buddy. That's a lot going on right there. I hope you're doing all right. You doing all right? Fish Tank says, yeah, actually, the truck did sound pretty mean for sure. Kind of scared the hell out of me, though. Yeah, when you don't expect your car to make that noise, you're like, is that behind me? Is that over me? Is that under me? What the hell is that? Random Texture says, I thought the strike zone was from the letters to the knees. Letters. That's kind of how I thought. Letters to the knees.
Well, again, I'd have to look it up, but I think in the big leagues, it's not the letters. I believe it's just about the belt, a little above the belt. I guess you could say the belly button down to the top of the knees. Yes.
Hey, are you ready for? We're not going to do this right now.
Yes, I'm ready right now.
Well, no, we're not. No, we don't have time. We only have Randy, just let me talk. Let me talk. We don't have time. Do not fire the thing. But are you ready for the Keon Rose top 5 at not quite 5? Are you ready for that?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm ready for that too. I just wanted to see if you're ready.
Just make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah. Because this one, he sent this one out today, and I don't feel like I had enough time with it. You know what I mean? He's sitting there doing all this research and mock drafting, and now he's asked a kind of a mock drafting kind of question, or he's just trying to cheat off our papers. I don't know what's going on here, but I just know that I needed more time with this. There's no way I'm going to win this one.
It is a difficult topic, yes.
I'm not going to say what the topic is until we do it. I'm just saying I don't feel that confident in this one. But do we feel confident, though, in the Phoenix Suns tonight?
Yes.
Oh, I do. Yes. Yeah. I think that they're going to turn around. I think we're going to see something completely different. I think Monty and CP3 have gotten together, and I think they formulated some adjustments to this Pelicans team. It's time for these Pelican overachievers to be put in their place by the number 1 seed. So I'm confident it'll be a good game for the Suns tonight, and I expect to see the Suns win, quite handily.
You got to give those Pelicans rookies that they're using to harass Chris Paul. You got to give those guys some credit for a couple of different ways. One of them got knocked down to the floor, and Chris Paul tried to help him up, and he's like, no. And he waited for his teammate. It's like, damn right. Jose Alvarado and Herb Jones, they were all up in Chris Paul's face, made his life a living hell. And you got to give him credit for that. That said, if the officiating is fair tonight, don't think that that's going to be the same way it goes. Plus, you done pissed off the point guard. You've just angered a deity of basketball. You don't think he's going to be ready for your asses tonight on his own home court? You don't think, forget about Monty Williams. You don't think Chris Paul has just been counting the moments until 7 o'clock tonight? You're a fool if you think otherwise. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are two different issues with two separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We've treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And King of Kittens has a confession to make.
Oh, boy.
He texts in, okay, confession time. And for some reason, there's a picture of an orange cat. I've been day drinking. I missed the 3 o'clock hour. Brando, beer me. Let's go, boys. Let's go, Phoenix. Let's go, Arizona. You missed a whole hour due to drinking. I will allow it. And don't forget, you can always listen to the podcast, 1580thefanatic.com. Listen on demand. Scroll down, find the blender. Bam! Any hour you missed, you can watch. They're chopped up into hours. So you missed the first hour, there it is. You missed the last hour, there it is. Well, I mean, not until we do it. Unless you've got a time machine, you do what you want. It's none of my business. But King of Kittens, after the show is over, it'll pop up there a little bit later on, and you can listen anytime you want, or just grab this video thing we do on the YouTube, which you can find on the Twitter and the Facebook. And after the show's over, just rewind that thing right back, and bam, there you go. A lot of bam going on here. Chief Skulls this afternoon, guys. Why is Keon's background empty? Well, because we're redecorating. He says, Keon, do you need some Minnesota for back there?
No, thank you.
No, I was telling him during the break, go ahead and move your head over to the side. That Go Wizards thing is coming down pretty quick. It's going to be some Arizona sports stuff up there. I'm not putting the Colts up there, but there will be Cardinals, there will be Diamondbacks, there will be Suns, there will be Rising, there will be Coyotes, there will be Rattlers. That's going to become an Arizona background here in a little bit, but every now and then you got to shake things up and redecorate, my friend. Boogie says, are we doing confessions in the second hour? I guess we could. And I mean, I could just go ahead and become Father Jeffrey. Hello. And this is the thing we use the telephone for. Let them call in and make their confessions. Although I think many of them would be filthy and we would have to hit the dump button a lot. Yeah. Hello, Boogie. What are your sins? Yeah. And second thought, forget it. We're not doing that. Royale Cheese says, I need a drink. Dealer's choice. What am I getting, Randy?
Here's an icy cold beer on a warm Arizona spring day.
99 degrees last time we saw. Did we break 100, Randy? Is that
I did not see 100 degrees broken today. I will say it's 98 right now in Phoenix, and there's some clouds moving in. The low tonight down around 60 degrees. So there you go.
This is the time of year now, starting like pretty much today. What was the first day of the year where I walked out in the backyard and went, ugh, like that. That's how I know it's uncomfortably warm outside. It's
getting
not
there. Yeah.
Hot until it's 110, but it's uncomfortably warm right now at 99 degrees. So,
yeah. Wait till the humidity jumps in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
King Kenton says, hey, how about a go to hell Lakers and stuff? Or maybe put a go to hell Lakers and shut the hell up Phil banner up there. Well, Phil is now off doing other things, so he has been effectively shut up. But as far as go to hell Lakers, I don't want that shot to be a disparaging shot. I want that to be an encouraging and inspiring thing. That's why it's going to be all Arizona teams and stuff up there.
If you're watching the feed right now, you'll notice the D-backs is just simply black and white.
Mm-hmm. Well,
there's a reason for that.
There's no color in the season this year. That's for sure.
Just black and white.
Yeah. Well, no, that was actually a Game of Thrones throwback thing. That's why that's that
you
way.
Can say that if you want to, but I happen to know it's because
there's no joy, no color, no anything.
Right.
That they're on the wall.
Nothing. Mm-hmm.
Well, I got news for you. There will be color. There will be Diamondback representation. As bad as their season is and will be, we will still rep them proud because they are the home team. 888-368-1580. Random texter. Okay, well, your car can say it's 100, but that doesn't mean it's actually 100. This is probably going to be one of the many times I say this year because people always like to send in pictures of their car saying what the temperature is. When your car sits out in the sun and you get in and turn it on, it'll tell you it's 122 when it's actually 85 degrees. Why? Because the car is hot. The ambient air temperature outside is what we actually judge is not that hot. If you got metal on top of metal and it's sitting there, you basically have created an oven, which is your engine compartment where the sensor for your car's thermometer is. Yeah, it's going to say it's hotter than hell. But it's not reality. So if you get in your car this summer, and applies to you, Keon, and you turn the key and it says 132 degrees, don't panic. It's not really 132 degrees.
Good to know. Also, my car's not smart enough to tell me the temperature. So,
well, there's always that too. But if you get a car that does that and you drive around a little bit, then you can sort of start to trust what the actual temperature is saying to you. But just sitting there, you turn it on. Man, if those temperatures were real, we'd all be dead. Against the spread says, I hope you guys made some money on my Suns pick from Friday. I don't have a pick for tonight. I just want to watch the game as a fan. Go Suns. Yeah, I don't want to jinx the Suns, so I'm trying to stay away from that. I made a bet on the boxing match over the weekend, and I lost that. So I said I was going to do a lot of out of my comfort zone kinds of bets between football season and football season. And so far, I suck at it.
I mean, that makes sense, though. They are out of your comfort zone. You're not used to betting, like boxing. You're going to take that long shot because that's just more fun, to be honest. If you bet on Tyson Fury, your return wasn't going to be that great anyway. Why not, bet on the long shot and see if it can't happen?
Roll the dice. It was a buck. What are you going to do? Hefty Lefty says, my grill says it's 570 degrees right now. Of course, all the burners are on high. Holy God. If I turn mine up that high, it would be on fire. What did your grill get that hot, Randy?
Oh, yeah.
570?
Oh, yeah. I can get up to almost 700 degrees. Yeah.
So I probably could too, but I got to shovel out all the stuff at the bottom of the grill.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I get that up to 350, all of a sudden I'm like, honey, dinner's gonna have to wait. This fire is gonna die down first. The drippings. Big George says, per the National Weather Service in Phoenix, the high officially so far today, 99 degrees. Oh, we already knew that, George. He says, wasn't that the name of a boy band from the 90s? I don't know, George. 99? Didn't listen to that kind of music.
Toto did a song, 99, paying homage, really? I think, to 99 from Maxwell Smart, the series Maxwell Smart. Get Smart.
There is 99 Luft balloons.
Remember that? That's Luft balloons. Yeah.
Balloons.
There was the band was called 98 Degrees.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe they had a fever. Chief Skull says, we must forget Phil. He has moved on to political pastures in Washington, D.C. No, he's working for Sirius XM doing sports.
Yeah.
His Speedos are welcome behind political doors, as you know.
No.
Keon is a more than capable replacement that we don't want to go anywhere ever.
Yes.
I'm not going anywhere.
For that matter, we should forget Kaler too, the quitter. Hefty Lefty said, good rule of thumb for the grill is to clean out that bottom pan every 6 months. Nothing worse than torching a pork loin from a flare-up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randy has told me all the stories about how bad a flare-up can be. And I don't ever want to experience that. Mr. Wilbur says there will be a moment in tonight's game where we, the Phoenix Suns, stand up to the new little bully on the block and put them back in their place.
Okay.
You got to have respect, though, for these Pelicans. And I'll tell you what, I'm not confident. I'm literally worried about tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not completely I believe in the Suns, and I'm going to root the Suns on. But if you're sitting there still so much a homer, you're like, we're going to win no matter what. I don't have that level of confidence.
I think that this Pelicans team has shown what they're capable of. And when they traded for CJ McCollum, I'm going to be 100% honest. I thought CJ McCollum would be a really great second best player on a team. And, Zion would eventually come back. They'd develop him. And CJ could be that experienced number 2 to kind of direct that team as they grew. CJ's a number 1. He plays like he can be the best player on the floor and have your team be great as a result of it. He's a tremendous passer. He's also, we've seen him score the basketball. He's a willing defender. I really think that you got to give the Pelicans credit, but I'm going to give a lot of credit to CJ. I think that he's transformed this team into something else entirely than what they were when we started the season.
Yeah, and I hate to see a team come into their own at our expense. So, the Suns got to get mad at it. The Suns got to go after that. And by the way, has there been any inkling, any whispers, any word about Devin Booker maybe getting back to work anytime soon?
It's a hamstring, man, and I would venture to say the plan on the table right now is to get through round number 1, and so that's why. Cam Johnson's got to settle down and get into his own routine and quit trying to feel the pressure of what Devin Booker was doing and just go out and do your job, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris Paul, I do believe, is going to come back with a vengeance tonight. He's got to be a little embarrassed by what happened the other night. Bad officiating aside, those guys played good defense on him. Yes, assisted by the ability to foul at will and never get called, but still, he's got to be ready to take it back to him.
And then there were moments where he wasn't fouled. He simply missed shots he normally makes. And it seems like they found the rhythm in game 3 where DeAndre Ayton was going to carry the load for quarters 1 through 3, and then Chris Paul was going to be the closer and close it out, which is what happened in game 3. I think they thought that was going to happen again in game 4. Ayton scored a lot, got them in position, the first 3 quarters, but Chris Paul wasn't able to answer the bell. Again, even if you just look at plays where he wasn't fouled, where he wasn't being harassed, he simply missed those shots, and he's got to play better.
Blissful Hayes says Chris Paul is hurt. That's why he didn't play well in game 4. What? I haven't heard anything about him being injured.
I hadn't either.
They hurt his feelings. I don't know. Fish Tank says, after all the cheap shots and no calls in the last game, I almost guarantee a Crowder technical tonight. And well, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Robert Surprise says, did you guys ever get a chance to discuss the Cubs running up the score and the Pirates 21-0? Do you think that's bad sportsmanship or just pro sports? Pro sports.
Yeah.
Pro sports.
If you're getting paid to play the game, if you don't want them to score on you, you've got to stop it. When we're talking kids, we're talking middle school, high school, and even college to a degree.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. But when we're talking professionals, team is putting 21 runs on your head. You got to figure out how to make that stop.
And if the team is putting 21 runs on you, or 21 touchdowns on you, or 21 baskets in a row on you, or 21 goals on you, at some point you realize, all right, we've lost this game, and the only thing we can do now is make it a really good practice because clearly we need it. So we're gonna take this on the chin. We're gonna still play through every inning, every quarter, every moment as if we have a chance to win. We're gonna give it our all because, that's what you do in a good practice. I don't know how else to look at it when you get down by that much. The only thing I would say is if they went up by 21 that fast, so can you. So don't give up. Give it a try. Keep going. Don't give up. There's certain points in a game where it's like, okay, this is over. But there's a time in every sport that's like that. Play your heart out, or just get through it. Pull your players you don't want to get injured and just get through it. But no, if you have the ability to score 21 runs, score 21 runs. That's how I feel about it. If you have the ability to score 21 touchdowns, score 21 touchdowns. There is a point, though. There is a point where you're like, all right, we're not going to go like the bunting thing. If you have 21-0 on the Cubs and you bunt, that's not cool.
Yeah, in professional baseball, I can tell you this: one of the unwritten rules, after a certain point and after a certain inning, when the other team puts in a fielding a position player and pulls a regular pitcher out of the game, they have gone ahead and said, you win. We're just going to finish out this game. And then you get up there and start, hitting bombs or taking extra bases or stealing bases or laying bunts down. What's going to happen is you're going to fire up that other team, and guys are going to start getting plunked on your team. So you just go station to station. You just try to grind it out. A lot of people have talked about, a run rule in baseball. After
mercy kill.
After the 7th inning or something, if it's out of touch and you're going to put a position player in there, you might as well end the game. I kind of feel okay with that because people pay, $40 or $50 to come see a baseball game, and it gets out of hand like that. And you're bringing in, the bullpen catcher to throw in a game. Who wants to sit there and see that? So
how do you do that, Randy? Is it like by the 7th inning, by the 5th inning, by the what inning?
I think after 7 innings, if you're
up by the difference is,
if you're up by 11 or 15 or something, you just pull the plug on the game. Just call it.
All right. I mean, if that's the rule, that's the rule. But as far as running up a score, Robert and Surprise, you're paid to do your job. Go out and do your job. And if your job is to hit dingers, if your job is to throw touchdowns, your job is to score goals, if your job is to make a 3, do your job. Yeah. And let the coaches worry about those sorts of things. And every sport, I guess, is going to be a little bit different. But no, on the surface, if that happened to get the Diamondbacks, I don't think I'd be that mad about it. Be like, yeah, maybe we should have a better team. Against the spread says, yeah, when you bet just to bet, you're probably going to lose. Well, I knew that going in with betting against Fury. I just bet like, well, okay, what the hell? Let's see what happens. There's always a chance.
Yeah, I mean, somebody decided to bet just to bet against Mike Tyson, and oh look, Buster Douglas won the fight. So throw $1 here and there, just see what happens.
Well, he says, the more you know, the more you win. Public service message for today. Well, we always appreciate your wise betting counsel against the thread. Mr. Wilbur says, true confession. 30 years ago, when the Suns did pay-per-view on some of their playoff games, I somehow magically was able to get it for free. That is between you and your God. But yeah, that was a dumb thing they did when they're trying to get pay-per-view for playoff games.
I've never heard of that in my life. Oh my God.
That was an evil time in our history.
You deserve to have that circumvented by fans who can figure it out if you do that. Come on.
Yeah, I usually like to operate in a pretty high ethical area, but when it came to that, go with God, my friend. Boogie says, everyone calm down, okay? I got 2 parlays tonight. Both have the Suns winning. We're going to be just fine. Damn you, Boogie. Damn you, Boogie. You're a Pistons fan. All you're doing now is trying to jinx the Suns. Last Optimist says, I do not expect Booker to be available until the 3rd series if the Suns make it that far.
Yeah, I checked for an update, and it's basically he isn't even playing at this point. They're still working on the hamstring. And
it's a hamstring, man. That's a difficult. This, Jeffrey.
I've had it,
and he's
a difficult injury to come back from.
He in particular has struggled
hurts to
with
drive sometimes from that.
But when you're dealing with a hamstring injury that's already bad, but Devin Booker struggled with the hamstring already for this is the 2nd season now that the hamstring's been an issue. So they're going to take their time with it.
Randy, what we need is a Tommy John surgery for the hammy, Tommy hammy or a hammy John surgery or something, where they just get in there and fix that. And then, oh man, after that, you've never felt better. Why can't they do that? Why can't they have a hamstring surgery? I
don't know, but I kind of wish, now that you said hammy,
a little ham sandwich,
maybe a smoked ham sandwich.
Oh, geez. Oh, that sounds good. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But.
Can we just, for a second, ponder the smoked ham?
Smoked
sandwich?
ham. Oh, that's good.
That's tasty.
Black Forest, a little Black Forest, or honey ham.
Any way you go, honey baked or Black Forest doesn't matter. I mean, any way you go.
Honey Black Forest baked. I mean, just mix the two. Why not mix the two? Why can't you have both?
Why not?
Nothing says you can't.
There's nothing. I've checked the Bible. I've checked the city ordinances. There's nothing that says you can't mix those things.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hang in there. Got another hour and 40 minutes of this nonsense. Then we can eat our ham sandwiches.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Or we could have like a 17-minute break. You just throw all the commercials into one break.
That's true.
Just do that. Well, now I got a lot of texts coming up on the text line. People want to say their stuff, so we'll have to wait. All right, guys, we'll be back. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580, the Smoked Honey Ham Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. Many NFL football teams have done one thing in particular to separate them from other teams. There was one team that was the first to come out with the no-huddle offense. Name that team. The answer coming up on the Daily Sports Quiz.
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the NFL team that was the first with the no-huddle offense. Maybe you guessed the Dallas Cowboys or perhaps the Vikings. Nope. The answer, the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals, the first with the no-huddle offense. I'm Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz.
Go Yard all summer long with $5 Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel Sportsbook. Randy here from the Daily Blender, and this season, all customers will get $5 for every home run hit by both teams when you place a $25 to hit a home run wager on Tuesday MLB games. The best part about Dinger Tuesdays is even if your bet loses, FanDuel is going to give you $5 for every home run. So what are you waiting for? Pick your home run hitter and turn big swings into big wins. There's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Head over to your FanDuel account or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code Randy1580. That's Randy1580 at FanDuel Sportsbook today. Remember, you must be 21 or older, present in Arizona. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $25. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback. And by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is your exclusive home for the 6-time world champion Indoor Football League's Arizona Rattlers.
All right, listen up.
Tune in to The Fanatic for all the fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Listen as the Rattlers work toward the playoffs and their 7th world championship in team history.
Let's keep it going.
Arizona Rattlers football exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to this Taco Tuesday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. As we traipse our way towards 6 o'clock tonight, playoff, of course, tonight's Suns in action, and the playoffs just are rolling all over the place. Of course, the Nets were eliminated last night, so, there's that. But you can make every game feel like a Game 7 on FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA throughout the playoffs. All customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week. You get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many ways to play, and best of all, when you do win, you get paid faster than a fast break. And I mean that. It is super duper fast. So you just head over and get yourself the FanDuel Sportsbook app. If you're a new bettor, new to FanDuel, download the app, sign up with promo code Randy1580, and you'll get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Once again, that's promo code Randy1580. Get that FanDuel Sportsbook app downloaded to your phone. And if you're already a customer of FanDuel, you're all set to bet, no sweat.
I ain't going to traipse. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I ain't going to be I'm not traipsing. I will not traipse.
Stumble?
Well, that's likely after a few whiskeys. Yeah. Okay. I can agree. Right. I can agree to your terms on stumbling.
All right. Stumbling, not traipsing.
But maybe it's not responsible to get on the FanDuel app when you're liquored up. That might not be the best of ideas.
That's not suggested. That's not a suggestion.
It's not
please,
safe gambling.
Yeah. Well, you bet that responsibly and don't have too many drinks before you get on there. No, drink after you get your wins. But anyway, either way, you get up to $20 in free bets if your same game parlay during the playoffs does not win. FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA, must be 21 and older, present in Arizona. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Or text next step to 53342.
888-368-1580. That is the text line, and I have got to get caught up here. We're about to talk about last night's games before we really, there's only one game that matters to us tonight, and that's Suns Pelicans at 7 p.m. But Senior Wake and Bake says, you took digital thermometer there, you put it in a vehicle parking midsummer. Of course, you're going to read 168 degrees. Well, that's what I'm saying, buddy. Hefty Lefty says, genuine question. What about sacrifice bunts? You're giving an out to the other team. If you do it twice after the first bat or single, that you're almost limiting yourself to a one run at that inning. Seems like you're taking your foot off the gas there if you do that.
No. When you're up by 20 runs or 21 runs or whatever, and it's in the 5th, 6th, or 7th inning, You take your gas, you take your foot off the gas. You don't go up there bunting, and you don't go up there working the count, especially if they have submitted and thrown in the towel by putting in a position player. Just go up there and you swing away and you put the ball in play, because nobody wants to be there in a game that's a blowout like this. Everybody wants to get out of there, especially the visiting team.
Robert Surprise says, I think it's a good idea, the run rule, when they stop serving alcohol and you're up by 15, game over. Yeah, I think you're right. Once you decide to stop serving alcohol, that's where you implement the run rule. Let's see. President Wallet says, hey, what did you guys fix? Reception is great today. Thank you. Just kidding. All right, guys, like, oh, damn it. I don't know, but we have more work to do. So please hang in there. We're getting so damn close. Blissful Hayes says, my favorite song about the number 99, 99 Ways to Die by Megadeth from the Beavis and Butthead Experience album. I've never heard that song, but I was thinking somebody say 99 problems and a gal ain't one, I don't know. It's not a good word to call a girl.
Yeah, though actually the song is, if you listen to it, actually about a dog.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's about the police dog.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically, like in the first verse, the cop pulls him over and they're trying to check out the car, and so they get the police sniffer dog, and he goes, well, I got 99 problems. The dog's not one. Yeah.
Well, why is the dog not one? Because he doesn't have anything on him. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh. I never knew that. I just thought that like he had dumped a gal and he has 99 problems, but see, that's on me, I guess.
He wanted it to sound like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He wanted you to assume that about the song.
Mission accomplished. That's what we all I think we all thought that. Huh. I was this years old when I figured that out. All right. First and 15 says Suns had regular season pay-per-view games in like 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? I thought it was later than that, because we were all just completely glued to our TVs and radios when that happened. So I don't know if that's the right year.
Yeah, I think 93 and 94 they had pay-per-view games.
No, because I was poor then. I saw every single one of them.
I think,
or maybe I heard on radio.
I think 93 and 94. That's when they did that horrible experiment gone wrong.
Let me tell you something. That is a testimony to Al McCoy, who, by the way, today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Al McCoy. Because I remember when I'd be driving around, I'd be listening to the Suns game, and Al McCoy painted the picture perfectly. Now, I feel like I watched an awful lot of those games too. And I think they simulcast him back in the day. Didn't he do the TV and radio back then? I just remember it being Al McCoy's voice, but nobody's better. Nobody is better at calling a basketball game than Al McCoy, legend, forever in the memories of all Suns fans, and still going strong. So happy birthday to Al McCoy. But yeah, are we sure about that year range? I don't know if that's correct. I mean, I could be wrong because, like I said, I was poor, but then I saw a lot of the games, so I don't know. Mr. Pringle says, hey, Blender, guess what?
What?
Lakers suck. You are correct. Jake the Snake says, what's up, fellas? You're making me hungry there. Go Suns and sign Kyler already. Ooh, Randy, do you agree with that last part?
Yeah, I mean, if Kyler's willing to not take a super max deal, shall I say, doesn't want the moon here, and he wants to work something out. I've lost a lot of respect for Kyler Murray. So,
yeah, well, sounds like he wants the moon, or else they'd have done it.
Yeah,
so it's got to be something like that.
If he's dealing with the wrong team, and he's got the wrong agent to pull that kind of stuff on this team. The Bidwells do not do business like that. You disrespect them and you disrespect the franchise, then you can just sit there and wait.
Watermelon says, Jeffrey, all this ham talk got me thinking about my favorite Denny's breakfast, moons over my hammy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one.
Big George says, I had a homemade wildflower honey ham sandwich for lunch today, topped with Munster cheese, some mayo, and old style grain mustard. That was divine. Stop saying food is divine. George. I hate when you do that.
It just sounds like he's trying to make it a thing, and it's not. It's
tasty. It's good, except for Munster. Really on it.
Nothing wrong with Munster. If you have the right Munster cheese on the right combination.
King Kitten says, yesterday I mentioned I purchased a 12-pack of Miller High Life. I also got half a pound of sliced deli roast beef for sandwiches. So deli sandwiches, anyone on the Taco Tuesday? I'm all about it. I don't ever get the tacos on Taco Tuesday. It's always on the days I least expect it. So I'm just happy I get tacos when I get the tacos. So I'm not going to complain because, I'm not cooking. Chief Skull says, we must also forget Boogie. He has moved on to Detroit versus the world, and I, for one, don't understand that level of defiance. Even Sparky Anderson wasn't this upset at lack of Detroit respect. Okay. Mr. Wilbur says, oh, this is the best 99 song. Why didn't we think of this? 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Oh, that is
Take
the
one
best
down
song.
and pass it around. 98
99.
bottles of beer on the
No,
wall.
there's still 99 because I'm going to keep putting them up there.
Mm.
We will never run out.
Okay.
Senior Wake and Bake says they need a fight rule. Ump makes bad call. Whoever have them fight. Yeah, that's
So what I'm hearing you say is he makes a bad call on the batter.
Mm-hmm.
The batter, armed with a bat, turns around and starts meleeing on this umpire who's clad with armored chest protector and shin guards and a face mask. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think the bat would probably be dropped and then let them fight. But then it's not fair to the player because the ump's got all that protection.
Got all his gear on.
Turtle gear.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you'll have to work out the details, Senior Wake and Bake. Random Texter says, Randy, here's a scenario for you. Last game of the season, you go 4 for 4, right? You hit 400 for the season. You're third at bat. Your team is up by 16 in the top of the 7th. Other team has a second baseman pitching. Are you swinging away?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Prison Wallet says, Jeffrey, you are correct. I'm not actually a basketball fan, but due to work schedule, I needed something to listen to on the radio. Al McCoy got me to like the basketball. See? Yeah, Al McCoy, the best. Cardinal Art says, happy birthday, Al McCoy. Shazam! Booger Wolf says, hey, it's the Bunyan brothers and the Salamander. Go Suns, beat the Pelicans. Or
Bunyan
the Pelicans. Bunyan brothers.
What does that mean?
Why? What does salamander mean?
I don't know. I don't know what any of these things mean. He might as well be just texting in hieroglyphics.
Who
I
is
have
it?
no idea.
Who is it doing? Who's doing
Booger
this?
Wolf. You got to let that just roll off your back, man. Because
I can't even feel bad. I literally don't understand.
Right. It's so nonsensical that's all there is.
If someone came up to me and started insulting me in Chinese, I couldn't be mad. I don't know what you mean. I just don't know.
And by the way, Booger Wolf has just now said, hey, Mr. White, pour me a shot of that Randy candy. I feel uncomfortable now. I think he means whiskey.
He's calling me one of the Bunyan brothers, and now he wants me to give him a shot of my whiskey here?
Well,
is that what I'm hearing him say?
I don't like being called a Bunyan either.
All right.
I don't know what it means, but it doesn't sound good.
You didn't have to pour that.
There you go, boogers.
No, I'm intercepting. I'm taking that one for myself. You get nothing, Booger Wolf. I just drank your drink. How do you like those apples?
Wow.
First and 15 says, oh, brother, no way the Suns lose on the legend's birthday. You know, you're right. They got to do it for Al.
If nobody else.
Good Cat says, Randy can pour me an entire 12-pack of Coors Light if he likes. Well, there he just opens the cans and hands them to you, man.
Yeah.
Boogie says, Detroit versus everybody. But I'm rooting for the Suns. All right, Boogie. All right. But see, just don't jinx them, all right? Kiss the Cook says best 99 song is actually 99 Luftballons.
99 Luftballons.
Now, is that the German version or the English with a German accent version?
You always got to go with the German version. It's so much more fun.
And the only word you understand was Captain Kirk. That's all. When she says Captain Kirk, you're like, I know German. No, you don't. You really don't. Prison Wallet says Corsica popcorn. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I feel like there's a code coming. It's going to stop. It's going to stop right there. I don't know what came at. I can see what came after that, but Randy, I feel like they're getting me to launch missiles again with their secret codes, and I'm not falling for it. I'm not going to be complicit in your act of terrorism, Prison Wallet. Now we know why you were in prison. All right, let's take a few minutes and talk about some of the games that happened last night. There's not a whole lot to say other than the Celtics destroyed the Nets. The Nets destroyed themselves. So, is there a clock ticking on Steve Nash, or do you think he's going to get another year?
The reports that I was reading was basically that they like Steve Nash. They're going to continue with Steve Nash. They want the stability. They don't want to start over. But Steve Nash is the only coach in this postseason to make 0 adjustments. I don't know how you keep a job after that. He didn't make none. There was nothing that he did that allowed those guys to have the game come to them a little bit easier. I mean, even teams that are going to probably lose their series 4-1 made enough adjustments to win a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nets couldn't do that. And I think that that's fireable, but I don't believe they're going to fire him.
Well, and again, I'll say he's extremely inexperienced as a coach. And remember, even if you're a player's coach, you've still got to be coach enough to see how to make an adjustment that will help your team win.
So what kind of shakeup do you think there's going to be going into next season for the Nets? Are they going to keep the core and work on it, or are you going to see a player come and a player go out of that situation?
I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to break up, Kevin Durant and
Kyrie.
I don't see that happening because they didn't have a full season together.
And they made the gamble to go get Ben Simmons, which is a whole problem unto itself. That he played no games for them.
I was going to say, what were his numbers this year? Because his seems like we should fire the GM kind of thing, doesn't it?
His numbers were goose egg because he didn't play. He didn't ever play. And everyone was wondering, like, okay, your team is up against elimination, Ben. You want to come in and see if you can contribute a little bit, see if you can at least, push back, fight a little, see if you can come back and overturn this series, because they're kind of designed to have 3 superstars. That would be you, superstar number 3, and Ben Simmons just didn't play. Just no competitive fire at all.
Well, is it that, or is it the herniated disc? Maybe he cannot play.
Up to that standard. Yeah, the little bit of recovering from injury, but there's a whole lot of mental health issues that that might be going on there. So I'm not going to give him a whole lot of crap, but it is a shame.
I'm not going to give him a ton of crap, but I do think that when you start having people in your camp frustrated with your lack of playing at all, that is something. I mean, we're at this point in the season, everybody's dinged up. That's just the NBA. You play 82 games, and then you move into the postseason. Sometimes it's Joel Embiid and his thumb. Sometimes people are playing, trying to play through certain injuries. You have the hamstring with Devin Booker that he tried to play through but couldn't. I'm not saying that you have to play through a herniated disc, and if it's that bad, then it's that bad. But there wasn't an effort made to try and get back out on the floor. And I don't know if Ben Simmons can recover to even be effective moving on into the future. That's a gamble that's right now not looking like it's paid off.
Something's going to have to change there. And, if you're not doing anything about the GM, you're not doing anything about the coach, and you're not going to do much about the players.
See you next year.
Yeah, guess that's the end of that. Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, let's talk about the other 2 games that happened last night and the 3 games that are going to happen tonight. And by 3, I mean the one that matters the most. That's right. Phoenix Suns tonight on Al McCoy's birthday, looking for that W. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Uncertain times can lead to fearful investing, which could leave you in a bad spot, especially if you're trading on emotion. When tumult opens and closes the market, you need sound advice.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. If fear has you in its grips, it's time to take a look at your investments. At Compact Asset Management, we specialize in providing complete wealth management solutions to help you reach your financial goals, no matter where the market goes. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say talk to Mo for a free portfolio review. We will also discuss how we can work together to create your customized retirement plan. Call pound 250 on the cell phone and say talk to Mo, and let us help you take the fear out of your portfolio. Again, call pound 250 on the cell phone and say talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
You retire only once, so you've got to stick the landing. There are many choices to make when you retire, but choosing the right advisor might be the most important one you ever make. The right advisor can help you avoid mistakes, avoid income shortfall later in life, and help you grow your money with smarter investments. To retire comfortably, you need to know that all your bills are paid, your investments are well chosen, and your income is secure for life. The IQ Wealth Smarter Bucketing System does all of this for you by separating your money into clear and distinct buckets, each with its own specific task and time deadline. You retire only once, but Steve Jurich at IQ Wealth Management helps people retire and stay retired every day.
Advisory services by IQ Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Custodian Fidelity. Get smart and decisive in 2021. Let's meet soon. Visit IQWealth.com, IQWealth.com, IQWealth.com.
Download our podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Don't be that guy.
Arizona's new exclusive home for live NFL games and Super Bowl 55.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and all right, so let's pick this thing right back up where we left it. We talked about the Nets getting swept, and Randy knew that was going to happen because he's been all over these Celtics in the playoffs. How about the survival of the Toronto Raptors versus the Philadelphia 76ers? Philadelphia has a 3-2 lead, but boy, they got skunked last night, 103-88. So much so, people are talking about James Harden not putting enough offensive effort, which is really odd to me because didn't he used to be complete ball hog and just love to just score every point himself back in the day?
He has, but also James Harden in the postseason kind of disappears for games. And we've seen it happen multiple times, especially when he was in Houston. And one of the reasons why James Harden gets paired with a superstar player and then that person's gone because it doesn't work out long term is there's something there with the effort of James Harden in the postseason where he's not 100% dialed in when other guys are. Didn't work out with Russell Westbrook when they got him Westbrook. Didn't work out with Chris Paul when they got him Chris Paul. Didn't work out when he was in Brooklyn with the Nets. And now it's happening again. He's just not always dialed in for every single game.
Well, I guess some people are not happy about that. And,
Joel Embiid's not happy.
Yeah,
about that.
he of course he's not going to say it, but he said it. You know what I mean? So they asked him about it. They're like, "Hey, you want to see him take more shots? Maybe give you a little help in the offense there?" And he says, "I've been saying all season since he got here, he needs to be aggressive. He needs to be himself. But that's really not my job to tell him that. That's probably on coach to talk to him and tell him to take more shots, especially if they're going to guard me the way they've been guarding me. But that's not my job to tell him." Well, he just got told. He says, "We all need to be better offensively. We've missed a bunch of wide open shots. Sometimes I feel like we just invited, when I was getting doubled, we were not aggressive." So he kind of doubled down on the whole thing, basically saying, "I'm getting double teamed. Harden, do your job."
Yeah, I mean, what else could you ask Joel Embiid to do that he hasn't already done? I mean, the guy is playing
with a
through
busted
an injury,
finger,
answering the bell. And by the way, he got a double-double while being double-teamed on a bunch of possessions.
I had a double-double last night, and I had some fries, and I had a root beer, and it was delicious.
Did you have an animal style?
Well, what's that mean?
Isn't that when they put the
covered in chili?
I don't know if it's chili, but it's the What's the sauce that they put in there? It's like
no. Then I guess I did. Yeah, there's the sauce. There was sauce in there. My wife brought it home, so I don't know. It had that sauce, but it was delicious.
Yeah. I'm guessing Joel Embiid got a different double-double, 20 points, 11 rebounds.
Mine was better because I didn't lose.
Well, yeah, and part of that is the thing with James Harden. James does have to play. I mean, I last year when the Nets were, again, one Kevin Durant toe on a three-point line from going to the NBA Finals, it was no thanks to James Harden. James disappeared in that overtime period when they needed him the most. It was just Kevin carrying that team. He does this, and I think that it's okay and fine for Joel Embiid to call him out and still try to find a way to be a good teammate by maybe not directly saying to the media, I think James Harden should be more aggressive.
So because it was Philadelphia, the 76ers got booed as they went to halftime.
I mean, of course.
Their own team. So, all right. So, what's going to happen here? Are the Raptors going to go ahead and pull this thing out and leave the 76ers behind? It'll take them 2 more games to do it, but I guess that's not likely, right?
It's not likely, but I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. If Joel Embiid were 100%, I would say absolutely Sixers close this thing out. But because he's not 100%, and because the Raptors do have championship experience, Pascal Siakam was amazing last night, and the other guys that have been on that team like OG Anunoby, the recently acquired Gary Trent Jr., that they've been able to put together a team that I don't know that they're a championship team, but if you sleep on them in the first and even second round, the Raptors can do some serious damage. Oh, and Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year.
You have already forgotten one thing though that's important. This man has lost 7 of his last 8 opportunities to close out a series. 31 losses in those games, most by a coach in NBA history. Talking about Doc Rivers. Mm-hmm. The Doc Rivers factor is heavy on these Sixers.
Overlooked. Can't be overlooked.
So, all right. And then the other thing that happened was, if you thought the score of the Raptors beating the Sixers was kind of heavy, how about the Mavericks taking down the Mormons? Oh, my God. Blew them the hell out. Donkey Itch was playing amazing, 33 points, 13 rebounds. And, what happened there? The Mormons lost their mojo.
Well, part of it was Donovan Mitchell. He's injured. He's their best scorer. Without him, I don't know how the Jazz score points because, Rudy Gobert might be the second best player on the team. He's not the second best scorer on the team. He's mostly there for what he does defensively. And look, he was good. He led all starters with 17 points with that. But if Rudy Gobert is your high scorer in that game, you've got a real problem. And I think Utah does because they don't really have anybody else who can create their own shot. Maybe a little bit of Bogdanovich, but between that and how inconsistent Mike Conley's been, I honestly don't know where Utah is able to get points. And obviously when you got Luka playing as good as he did and the newly minted Jalen Brunson, who is apparently here to stay, then you're going to roll like Dallas did.
And what you also have is a Dallas team making adjustments. The Jazz own the boards in the first couple of games, and the Mavericks have made adjustments, and then they've been able to take some of that back, which I think has been a big factor in how they've played as well. So right there, Steve Nash, maybe he should go back and watch tape on how to adjust when things happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the Suns have gone back and looked at some tape and learned to adjust to the new reality that Devin Booker is not going to be there. And these Phoenix Suns have got a tougher than expected New Orleans Pelican team. So, all right, Randy, we're ready for this game. It's a all tied up season. It is now a best of 3 because you got to win 2 to go on to the next round. So tonight, CP3, you know he's going to be ready. But what else needs to happen for the Suns to win on Al McCoy's birthday?
I think that they need to be more aggressive. They've got to come out sharp, and they got to cut down on the turnovers. Aside from getting fair treatment from the officials, they've got to come out and hit the open shots when they have the opportunity. Cam Johnson's got to step up. We need him to fill the gap there. Jay Crowder's got to, this is the games where you see Jay Crowder get really tough defensively, and then he generally puts up. Remember last year, it was like brick, boom. I would expect that's going to happen again tonight. He's going to hit some 3-pointers, and I think he's going to be very aggressive on the defensive side of things since it was a physical game last week. That's my take on it. That's what I think the Suns will end up doing, and I think Monty has instituted some sort of adjustment to take avocado out of the damn game. So he can just stay around CP3 all you want to. CP3 is not going to have the ball very much. He might bring it down, and as soon as that avocado kid comes up here, he's going to go, child, please. And the ball's going to be gone, and they need to capitalize on how they're overplaying against CP3 to try to shut this team down.
Yeah, he's going to be all about the assists because Chris Paul can't, with a guy who's 6'8", do that little fadeaway shot as easy. He doesn't have the ability to do that little pump fake. Oh, there it is, because this guy's like over him. So you're right. It's going to be about the assists, and these other guys have got to make their shots. DeAndre Ayton has got to get more involved in rebounding on both sides, not just one side.
Yeah.
And he's got to be more aggressive. They've got to be afraid of him in there to keep, Chris Paul from getting trapped.
Exactly right. This team has got to come out. They've got to be on their game. They've got to be sharp. They've got to be ready, and they've got to be aggressive. And DeAndre Ayton needs to have a big game tonight.
Well, he's been playing really well the last couple of games.
Don't quote stats at me. I want to see it.
I mean, it's not just stats. I mean, the guy is controlling the game offensively. If you take, it's not just stats. If he doesn't score the way he scored, they're being blown out in the first halves of games because Chris Paul's not really getting. He's saving himself for the fourth quarter, basically. So without DeAndre Ayton setting that tone early, they're not in these games at all. So I want to see him do more in the fourth. I think just because Chris Paul can throw on the cape in the fourth and be the superhero doesn't mean that DeAndre necessarily has to take a back seat in the fourth. That's what I've been seeing a lot of. I also want to see Jay Crowder be very physical with Brandon Ingram because that was the only time they were able to slow him down was when Jay Crowder was playing him close, getting the arm on him. Don't let him have any room to breathe and just continue to play overbearing defense. He did get in foul trouble doing it a game ago, but I wouldn't let that stop me from going after him again and making his life hell, because that's the only way you beat these Pelicans is it starts with Brandon Ingram, take him out of rhythm and take him out of being able to get to his spots easily.
You know what champions do, right?
No, your spot.
No, they do whatever it takes. And DeAndre Ayton has got to give more. And Chris Paul has got to play harder. And this bench has got to step up. Everybody has to do whatever it takes. This is not a cruising through the first round idea anymore. This is a fight for your life, 3 games or 2 if you're lucky, right? So you do whatever it takes. And you know what? Maybe DeAndre Ayton needs to be playing aggressively enough to where he might foul out. Maybe that's what you need. Because he's always super careful about that, isn't it? He's always very super careful. No, stop it. Get out there, be aggressive. Every possession counts.
But the thing is, Valanciunas doesn't play as well when Ayton's out there. So I don't want to say that Ayton's not doing a good job. Valanciunas does not play as well when he's not out there. And when Valanciunas was going off, who was guarding him? It was JaVale McGee, who is doing a great job, by the way. I think he was like 7 for 7 last game or something like that. But Valanciunas is much larger and heavier than McGee. He just pushes him around. I think Ayton does a really good job of keeping that dude out of space to be able to make plays.
All right. So the Suns tonight at 7 p.m. Very much looking forward to this game. We'll be on pins and needles watching this and seeing what happens next. And there's no way they're going to let Al McCoy down on his birthday. They just can't do that. Boys, you can't do this. Okay.
You would hope not.
Do it for Al. So the Heat, they could win tonight. They could win right now and go on to the next, little baby hair, sweaty guy, Trae Young. They can make him cry. But the problem is Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is out for the game. Is that playing a factor in the game as it is on right now? Can you give me an update on what's going on with the Heat and the Hawks?
Yeah, right now, 7.5 minutes left in the half, and the Hawks currently leading 34-28 and outscoring the Heat in the second quarter.
So there you go, already feeling the loss of Jimmy Butler. They're saying it was because of right knee inflammation. So is this a thing where he could be back on the next game, or are they talking about him being out for more than a couple?
He could be back next game. It just depends on, where the knee's at. Can they get him a brace that's effective and holds the knee in place? Maybe there might need to be some fluid drain from the knee, but none of those things stop him from coming back next game if they go well.
I don't know why. Anytime somebody needs a fluid drain something, doesn't that kind of just sound disgusting?
It just sounds absolutely gross. I don't even know what that means exactly, but yeah.
Booger Wolf says the Suns need to go old school Spurs and Twin Tower the crap out of the Pelicans with McGee and Ayton. Moiswin says whoever will score the most tonight will win the game.
Deep
Watermelon
analysis
says tonight the Suns need to utilize the big guys inside. They can't chase the free ball all night long. That's right. Take it two. Take it two when you can get it. Don't sit there and brick a three if it ain't happening and the defense is too much. 2 is better than a 0. Okay. We'll catch up with the rest of your guys' text about the Phoenix Suns and other stuff when we come back. And hey, we got some NFL to talk about too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve to make sure that there are no barriers to the benefits and services earned through service to our country. Find out how we can assist you in Arizona. Visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are in the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we've been talking about, well, you know, tonight's games. We talked about last night's games. We're going to talk about some football here in a minute, but I want to get caught up on the text line before we move on to that next thing. Right now, though, we've got 2 games happening, right, Keon? There's 2 games.
Yep.
There's
2.
Hawks and Heat. There's Timberwolves and Grizzlies. So why don't you give us a quick update on the scores there?
Yeah, Hawks and Heat started first, and there's 4.5 minutes left in the half. Hawks currently up on the Heat 40-37. So that game's starting to get a little bit closer. And then game 2, the first quarter is coming to a close with the Timberwolves leading the Grizzlies in Memphis 30-28.
Okay, so a couple of good games going on right now. All right, keep us up to date there, Keon. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, D'Angelo Russell looks like he's trying out to be the new Rams mascot in the offseason with that haircut. He does. It looks like Rams horns there a little bit there. I don't think that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he's going for, but it's the result.
Yeah, well, I'd take it. All right, let's get caught up. Let's see here. Mr. Pringle says, can someone explain to me how Ben Simmons passed a physical in order to be traded to the Nets?
Either he passed the physical and then got injured after, or the Nets waived the physical, knowing, okay, there may be something wrong, but we'll take the risk because it's worth it to get James Harden out of the building.
Yeah, we've waived every physical on Randy White. Because we've been told that he's going to rehab it out and he'll be ready to go. Rehab. Ever since 2018, when he joined the show, he is yet to not be injured. But you know, every time we just waive it. We waive. Hi, Randy. Yeah, see?
Hi.
Right there. We've done it again. Good Cat says, this may be an unpopular thought, but I was not surprised to see Jason Tatum shut down Kevin Durant as easily as it did. I love voice text. You can read voice text. He said comma, and then there's a comma, and then the word comma. So he probably said, this may be an unpopular thought, comma. Oh, damn. I'll screw it. Yeah. So were you surprised to see Jason Tatum shut down Kevin Durant?
Yeah. I mean, because
it wasn't.
He wasn't. And I mean, good for him for seeing that ahead of the curve. I thought that Jason Tatum would be able to contain Kevin Durant. He didn't just do that. I mean, he outside of that last game where Kevin Durant played pretty well, he made Kevin Durant useless for 3 games. And I think it was a team effort from the Celtics too, because Kevin would try and run, over under screens, and there'd be an elbow here and there to meet him. But no, I really think that Jason Tatum, when he was one-on-one, Kevin Durant had the ball and Jason had to stop him, he did. And to be able to do that against a guy who is largely considered to be either the best scorer in that top 3 group of scorers in the league, that is incredibly impressive.
Kiss the Cook says, you could see the lack of coaching experience with Nash not being able to defensively adjust to the Celtic style of play, primarily with Tatum. Senior Wake and Bake says, too bad it's not the old NBA, 6 fouls, 6 punches.
Yeah, I mean, the old school Knicks used to say, we're winning the game or the fight, one of the two.
I always loved that. Booger Wolf says, imagine this lineup: Paul, Bridges, Crowder, McGee, Ayton.
It's a very lengthy lineup, but I don't know how well that lineup scores, and I don't know how well that lineup defends on the perimeter. That would be where my concern would be if you had all of those guys out there.
Wicho says, not it.
Oh,
that seemed like a tie between the two of you. So the listeners would have to declare who actually won that one because they can hear it from the outside. So who won the not it? Was it Keon or Randy? It was an absolute tie on my end, but I know out there it could have been different. Blissful Hay says, here's an idea. Instead of game 6, how about Booker versus Zion? 1-on-1 right now. Determine the series. Fight.
The 2 injured players from each team and presumably the 2 best players from each team.
I'll tell you what, when you say 1-on-1, you mean a game of 1-on-1 or a fight? Because if it's a fight, I feel like Booker would have the advantage because he has a hurt hammy.
But Zion, his injury is fatness. So all he's got to do is punch him right in the breadbasket. Zion's going down.
And an injured foot with Zion.
Even better. Step on his foot, punch him in the breadbasket. He's going down, and that's the end of it. Booker for the win. And if you don't think Booker knows how to fight dirty, he's dating a Kardashian. Well, Jenner.
Good point.
But,
Good point.
Close.
Big George says, somewhere Josh Applebaum is quietly celebrating his Celtics defeating the Nets, something he predicted on this show before the series even started.
Yeah.
He's a Boston fan. Nothing he does is going to be quietly. It's going to be obnoxious. And how you like them apples? Get the car. We're going to go potty. Hefty Lefty says, thanks for your response to the bunt question earlier, Randy. I didn't play baseball growing up, so from an outsider, I thought the small ball would be sort of like taking your foot off the gas, but right on. I was mistaken. I now understand more about baseball. I thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're going to have those games where either your team or the other team is just going to have one of those days, and nothing you do is going to stop them. You can put your number one pitcher out there, and these guys, for whatever reason, are going to hit the cover off the ball and just be scoring copious amounts of runs. It's just not even going to be funny. So you pull your number one pitcher and save him, and you put one of your long relievers out there, and he gets shelled. So then you're starting to see the trend here, and they get up by 15 runs. You start looking at, let's see, what position player can I throw out there that's going to, do the mop-up duty on this game? Because the bottom line is we're just going to get killed. It just happens sometimes. So as a team that you're that far ahead, you just go ahead and go up there and take your hacks, just like you would in BP, but you don't take extra bases. You don't try to hit so that you get triples in your base clearing. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But you go up there and you don't work the count. You just try to hit and go station to station is what we call station. Go to first, then go to second, then go to third. Don't try to just emphasize taking an extra base all the time. So that's the way you do those games.
Against the spread, says Randy, what do you think of my St. Louis Cardinals? They think they're tougher than advertised. By the way, disregard my last text because it's off topic now.
Well, I mean, I had this sense going into this season that St. Louis was going to be a team that you should be worried about, and I still feel that way. I think their lineup is finally starting to gel. I mean, last night they got beat by the Mets, but it was the Mets. So, I think come fall, you can look for the Redbirds to be in the playoff picture. I think, and it'll be fun summer to watch this play out.
So we've had many conversations in the past about, marijuana or CBD and the fact that it's not a performance enhancing drug. And that the sports maybe doesn't need to worry about testing for that. And if it's not an illegal drug. Now, if it's illegal, if it's against the law, fair enough. You don't want people doing illegal things. But since now marijuana has been made, for better or worse, legal in most places in the country, you can't really call it an illegal drug, and you can't ever call it a performance enhancing drug. If anything, it's the opposite because it mellows you out, dude. So I don't know about this one. This next one, you think is meth a performance enhancing drug? Oh, boy. No, I'm going somewhere with this, but I'm just asking.
It is an upper, so
yeah, but
I suppose in a dose that won't have you completely out of your mind,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
absolutely.
I wasn't sure about the performance enhancing portion of this, but it's definitely banned. And a jockey in New Zealand is in a lot of trouble now because she and her racehorse both tested positive for meth. Yes.
Oh boy.
Her name is Rochelle Lockett, a 50-year-old jockey, and a horse that she helped train named B Flexi won a race back in January, then tested positive for meth. So Rochelle had to give hair and urine samples, and she tested positive too. And not clear how the horse got meth in the system. You got a feeling that Rochelle and the horse are probably smoking it together. One of them on purpose. So at first she claimed she only did it once back in November because it was her birthday. Because, on your birthday,
You're thinking meth. But then her test results showed she'd been doing a lot more than that. And eventually she admitted she'd done it just 2 days before that race. So,
oh boy.
New Zealand's Racing Integrity Board banned her for 3 years. She could be reinstated if she tests negative for 18 months. But the horse also got banned. I don't know why. It's not the horse's fault. Not like the horse is, doing horrible things for a rock, but whatever. This is not the first time, though, I guess, that they've had a racehorse methed up. One named I'm Not Ticklish tested positive for meth back in 2014, and at least 2 others have failed their meth tests. So I just didn't know if this would count as a performance enhancing drug. I mean, a kitchen cleaning enhancing drug, and a face scratching enhancing drug, and a life ruining enhancing drug, and a dental disaster enhancing drug. But everything else, performance, probably not.
So I looked it up, and in small doses, it can increase your focus, but more to the point, it helps you ignore pain, which will be bad for you if you ignore like warning signs your body is trying to give you. But also, if it means that you get to push a little bit harder than somebody else because you can't feel the pain that they are feeling, then that could be a PED there.
I don't know if I could still call it performance enhancing, because it seems like anybody who does this, it immediately takes a turn for the immediate worse.
Yeah,
it's the opposite of performance enhancing.
It does.
It should always be illegal.
But in one game, you can have an advantage. If you continue to take it, obviously you're just going to destroy your life. It is meth after all.
Poor horse. That poor horse didn't know any better.
Which that's animal abuse right there. So
the horse is like, Jesus Christ, I just asked for some cocaine. I had no idea it was going to be. I just wanted to, I wanted to have a party. I didn't want this. Now look at this.
We need
look
the
at this.
Minnesota protesters here.
Look at my tooth. Look at my tooth. That's it. What am I supposed to do with that?
How can I eat apples like this?
So on the golf course, another animal in sports, Callum Tarrant, who's trying to check out this shot. Now, if you golf in the Florida, Florida things are going to happen.
Got to be careful. Yep.
And he was over there by the water, and he was kind of putting his tee down. He was just trying to okay, let's think about this. And oh my God! And he saw this giant 12-foot gator sort of laying there, kind of right there off the side of this little berm. And he did a hopping 7-step sideways, like as quick as he could.
Exit stage left.
Yeah, the announcers were laughing. The first thing was he about had a damn heart attack. The gator didn't even move, wasn't even looking at him, didn't even care about him. He was kind of looking the other way. And but then he came back. And okay, so here's the thing. I say, not a man card violation. Somebody asked me, was that reaction a man card violation? No, that was a respectful reaction where he was like, holy crap. He kind of did a sidestep, but then here's where he's a man. He went back and it was kind of like, holy cow, look at the size of this guy. And I believe he still played from the tee. He teed it up right there and did what he had to do. So, no, your reaction to a 12-foot gator or crocodile, either one, to go, oh, and kind of get away from him. That is an appropriate one. That is not an unmanly one. Now, if he had screeched and screamed and ran away and never came back, that's not manly. But nearly having a heart attack at the moment you see a giant gator right there, it's fair.
I just feel like it's a normal reaction.
Fair enough. So his only quote on the Twitter was, "Oh, he was a big old fella." You are ready. Because he was. And I know that the guy from Princess Bride is not a sports figure, but he gets a man card accreditation for this. Carrie Elwes, whatever his name is, played Wesley. No, wrong Wesley. Wesley in Princess Bride. And he got bitten on the finger by a rattlesnake on Saturday.
Boy.
He was doing some yard work, which, by the way, just makes my point. Yard work kills. Anyway, he had to get airlifted to UCLA's medical center, and they saved his finger, but it was all dead and weird looking. He took a picture of it. It was all weird and swollen, and like, oh, that does not look like it's going to live. But they said he's going to be fine. He posted a photo of it. Said bit not by an ROUS, but by an actual rattlesnake. And then he went on to thank people who helped him out and stuff. So that's a man card accreditation. You get bit by the snake. and you're doing yard work, you get bit, and you survive it. Hell yeah, that man card accreditation right there. Now, of course, we didn't see him weeping, screaming, crying, so I'll take him at his word that that's not what happened. But yeah, you gotta look out for those things. This time of year, they are coming out, the snakes. And by the way, this story here was not going to be something I was going to talk about, but now I'm worried. Okay. And usually these things happen in Australia. This happened in St. Louis, Missouri. This woman is just driving by herself. If she felt something by her feet, she looked down and there was a huge ass snake right there. Okay.
Oh, no.
And she was like, whoa. And so she does what you do. She immediately drove to the police station. Now I'm pulling over and getting the hell out of the car.
Yep.
But she pulled up to the police department and said, there's a snake in my car. And so I guess at the time it took her to do that, the snake managed to get up under the, through the compartment of the car and in under the hood of the car. And then they opened it up, found it and pulled out. Turned out it was, harmless. It wasn't poisonous. They said, yeah, look at this. It was like a 4.5 foot long nope rope right there. Bam, there's a snake. But according to snakeforpets.com, this is the part that caught my attention. Snakes like the cars because they're warm, if it's cool at night and, 60 degrees at night, even here with 100-degree temperature in the day, it's cool enough for a snake might, and they can get in through an open door or window. Okay, makes sense. Roll up your windows, close your doors, right? But they can also find their way in through the undercarriage of your car.
Oh, come on. How is that fair?
That's not fair. And because you're driving, you feel like a little something. You're like, oh crap, hope that's not a spider. Now you got to worry about snakes.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's just.
I've never had a snake come into my car before, but now I'm thinking about this. Anytime the air conditioning by your leg hair, you're gonna be like, I hope that's not a snake, man.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I didn't need more things to be afraid of, but thanks for that. Appreciate it.
You're gonna look down and find a nope rope right around your ankles, buddy.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, thank you.
The old nope rope. I love that saying now. I'm gonna call every snake a nope rope.
Nope rope.
It
is accurate.
368-1580 against the spread says meth is definitely a performance enhancing drug. How do you think the Germans got to Stalingrad? By the way, who does meth only on their birthday? Huh? Ron Washington from the Texas Rangers, maybe, but who else?
Wow. Damn.
Hefty Lefty, yes, that is the appropriate gif. He's got a screaming, well, I can't remember the name of the character from Happy Gilmore, but you are correct. Well done. Let's see here. Against the spread, thank you. Senior Wake and Bake says, good name for the horses, Gone in Seconds. Big George says, how weird is it to still have the NHL regular season going and no playoff games while the NBA is almost done with the first round of the playoffs? Usually the NHL playoffs start before the NBA. This year is the opposite. Weird things, man.
Does feel odd.
Nostramarcus says, never a good thing when the snake enters through the undercarriage.
Nope.
I feel like that's a euphemism or a metaphor, or
let's just move right along here.
It could be a soliloquy. I'm not gonna thank you, Nostramarcus. The Reaper says Texas Rangers need to get their butts in gear, man.
Yeah, no kidding. They paid an awful lot of money to be cellar dwellers this year. It's early in the season. We'll have to wait and see. 12 games so far, 11 games. They'll be all right. We'll get things turned around here, I'm sure.
Heckler Jones says, you girls love softball talk. It's Heckler Jones. So yeah. It's called baseball, Heckler Jones. And as always, bite me. Yeah. Dropping the soap says, gone in seconds. Coincidentally, that's what the wife calls me. All right. All right, you're not cracking anybody up but me, but I'm laughing. Hefty Lefty says marijuana enhances my performance while trying to get my money's worth at Ace Korean Barbecue.
I don't get that. It makes you eat more.
Munchies.
So Munchies. Korean barbecue, you can eat all you want.
She just said all you can eat. Oh, that's Munchies. What it was. AYCE. Oh. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, don't give me acronyms. I don't know. I gotta go break. When we come back, it's time for Keon Rose's top 5 at not quite 5. We should have done that earlier, but now, so it's not quite 5. Top 5. Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The NBA playoffs continuing into Wednesday with 2 games on the schedule and an opportunity for 2 teams to punch their ticket into the second round. In the Western Conference, the Warriors will play host to the Nuggets. Golden State leads the series 3-1. They're favored by 9 points. The over-under has been set at 226. In the Eastern Conference, the Bucks will play host to the Bulls. The Bucks lead that series 3-1. Milwaukee is sitting as a 10-point favorite, and the over-under has been set at 219.5. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of a new LG Laundry Pair with Turbo Wash 3D that provides a powerful yet gentle clean in just 29 minutes, making this the sound of savings on top brand appliances. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Save up to $700 on LG Laundry with your choice of top load or front load LG high capacity laundry pairs at the Home Depot. Valid April 21st to May 11th. US only. Gas dryer extra. Wash by glass. See store for details.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canyer with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl.
The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season,
you'd better think again.
The NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more.
Football is always in season here.
We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your home for football.
All right, segment 2 of the 5 o'clock hours. We have for 6 o'clock here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. You're listening to the Daily Blender. Of course, playoff action going on right now. A couple of games happening. I think there's another one that starts here shortly. And then the Suns tonight at 7. We'll find out about that. But as the playoffs roll on, you can make every game feel like Game 7 on FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. And throughout the playoffs, all customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week. You'll get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many ways to play. And best of all, when you do win, you'll get paid faster than an NBA fast break. New to FanDuel, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Randy1580 to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code Randy1580. And you'll be able to get that account and that cool offer that they have. And by the way, speaking of offers, FanDuel's got all kinds of offers. They have always got opportunities for you to make money. And you talk about the same game parlay. Man, they've got a whole same game parlay section on their app. It's so cool. You can jump in on some other same game parlays that you see, and you can make money that way. Listen, it's a lot of fun. but you've got to be responsible. And that's why FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA, they are always worried about responsible gaming. If you already have an account, you're all set to bet, no sweat. Either way, you get up to $20 free bets if your same game parlay during the playoffs does not win. So take my advice, get the FanDuel Sportsbook, official partner of the NBA. You've got to be 21 or older. Present in Arizona. Boy, I'm just blowing this. Present in Arizona, refund issued as a non-withdrawable free bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Max free bet, $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
All right, so it is time now, ladies and gentlemen, to find out who the winner of this contest will be. Toe-to-toe, all of us. Well, it's time for Keon Rose's top 5 at 5. There's going to be a winner.
I mean, there doesn't have to be. I don't know when we decided that.
Communist?
No, just the it wasn't a game to begin with. It's just
I
top
play
5.
the game if you're not, keeping score. I just don't understand.
Well, I mean, if it was a game, then you would keep score. But I just want to know your top 5s. Anyway,
says the guy who doesn't usually win. That's one.
Whatever.
Whatever you.
Whatever.
So today's top 5, not quite at 5, is about the NFL draft. It's going to be on Thursday. It's right here. And Sue, I want to know in your guys' opinions, what teams, what are the top 5 teams that need to have a good draft? And whatever criteria you want on that. I mean, there are teams that are just terrible, so maybe they need a good draft, or there are some teams that might be really close to being a playoff team, and a draft that's good and quality could put them over the edge. So whatever reasoning you use, what team do you think, or what teams do you think need to have a very good draft on Thursday? And I don't know, we'll start with you, Jeffrey. You were talking about how excited you were here for this, and
I don't care what place I go, I'm going to win. So whatever.
All right.
All right. Sure. So I'll do this. Top 5, teams that need to have a really good draft. I was going to bring your Commandos into this, but then I realized, not much is going to help them. So there's no pressure on them to have a really good draft. I'm not trying to be rude, but
there's 7 and 11 a year, or 7 and 10. I don't know. I don't. They're not the worst team in the league. It's weird that you keep talking about them like they're the Lions. I don't understand this.
Wow! You guys are picking 11th. What do you think they need before I go on to my thing?
I think that they need help in their secondary. I really like.
And how boring is that? So you can get you can get somebody good there at 11. So you don't need to worry about your draft. Your draft is going to be fine, right? You feel pretty confident they'll take care of that.
I think that they're going to take a good safety there. Kyle Hamilton, probably out of Notre Dame.
So they're not in need of a good draft. It's going to be easy for them. Okay, so let me give you my top 5. The first number 5, the Jaguars. They got the number 1 pick, and sure, they got Hairboy Trevor Lawrence, but they got to get this one right. They got to get it right, and they've got to get all rounds correct. This Jacksonville Jaguars team has got to get itself back together. Number 4. They've got 2 picks that I can see right now in the first round at 22 and at 28. I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers. They've lost their marquee wide receiver, and they need to get some things right. Aaron Rodgers has already said, I'll be working with the young wide receivers immediately to make them special. So the Packers, they had better get the right guy, or Aaron Rodgers is going to be angry. Then at number 3, I got the Seahawks. They've got to pick a quarterback at number 9. They've got to get a quarterback at number 9. Now, will the best quarterback be available then?
I mean, could be. Depends on if the Panthers take a swing at Malik Willis or not. If they don't, then at 9, you're going to have Malik Willis available, and maybe the Seahawks do take a chance on that.
I feel like either guy, Pickett or Willis, they're taking a quarterback right here, right now. They have no choice. They have to. They can't wait till next season. They got to at least take a chance with this pick and get a guy in the system and learning and working, because God knows what's going to happen otherwise. After that,
The Eagles. The Eagles have a bunch of damn picks in this. They got a team that needs to be put back together, and they had better have a really good draft. And my number one team that needs to have a good draft, the hapless Detroit Lions. I have no idea what you do with it. At number 2, I guess, I don't know. Do they take a quarterback? I don't think they do, but they should, but they won't. They'll just take some really good, probably the best talented player available at number 2 and sort out the rest later. They're not going to get a quarterback until next year, and they'll probably get a quarterback at 1, 2, or 3 next year anyway. So that's what I say. But they all have to have a really good draft, because if the Lions have a bad draft this year, they won't have the supporting cast they need next year. They're going to suck next year. There's no doubt about that, but you got to make sure you get some good players to help out with your new marquee quarterback that you will get next year. And that's mine.
No, I do like that top 5. A solid quality top 5. So Randy, top 5 teams in your estimation that need to have a good draft. What does it look like?
See, I went a different direction than Jeffrey did. Jeffrey looked at the teams that are struggling a bit, that, obvious choices. But I looked at teams that it could really suffer if they don't have a good draft. And my number 5 team is the Las Vegas Raiders. With all the new inclusions of the AFC West, that division has turned very tough. And now that the Raiders have come out of last season, we all know what a debacle that was. They lost 2 of their star players and their head coach, and all kinds of confusion that was going on. They had their special teams coach, Rich Bisaccia, that was leading this team through last season. We didn't know if Derek Carr was coming back. And I feel like the Raiders need to step up their game. Yeah, they've made a couple of splash pickups. They got Devontae Adams. They re-signed Derek Carr. But I don't think that's enough. I think they need to have a wonderful draft. And they've got several needs, but they don't have a whole lot of draft capital either.
Right. They're a first rounder.
It'll be very interesting to see how the Raiders attack this draft. But I think they're gonna have to have a good draft, or you could call it curtains for them. They'll be at the bottom of the AFC West very quickly. They need offensive tackles. They need defensive tackles. They need some secondary help. So that's my number 5 team, the Las Vegas Raiders. Number 4, I'd say the Baltimore Ravens. Last season for the Ravens seemed a bit lackluster. You didn't really consider them to be a playoff potential team. They didn't have that defense that they've been famous for having over the past several seasons. They didn't have a really strong offensive edge either. So I think that Baltimore needs to have a good draft, and they're my number 4 team. They've got to get this right. They got to get back to that defensive supremacy to keep them in games, and they've got to give some help for Lamar Jackson, so he's not the only guy out there on the field doing things. They got to get a running game going. They've got to get a wide receiver or 2. So I think the Baltimore Ravens at number 4. Number 3, Carolina Panthers. What the hell are they doing? What are they doing out there? They went and got Sam Darnold, for heaven's sake. So I think that the dental smock will be on his he's on thin ice already. And if he doesn't perform this season, if they don't have a good draft and this team doesn't turn it around, I think the dental smock and his entire team, or his own coaching staff, will be ushered out the door and say, goodbye, see you later, au revoir, go back to college. Happened. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that if the Panthers can string together a couple of good players from this draft, fill some needs that they have, and I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But anyway, it's my number 3 team. Number 2, the Gum Chewer and the Seattle Sea Chickens. I'm sure that Ralph will have a different opinion of this, but listen, the Sea Chickens had a miserable season last year. Russell Wilson has gone to the AFC West of the Denver Broncos. What are the Sea Chickens going to do? And if they don't have a good draft, they don't bring in some help here, some defensive help, some offensive line help. They've got some great wide receivers, but what kind of a running game do they have? I think they have a lot of issues to cover, and I think they have to get it right in this. So my number 2 team is the Seattle Sea Chickens. And then number 1, Pittsburgh Steelers. What are they going to do? They haven't had a losing season since I can't remember. Had to be in the early 2000s. And usually they have a great team. They've had a quarterback in there that's been their guy for many, many seasons, and now they're kind of without a quarterback. What are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do? They also need to get some offensive line help. They need some secondary, the defensive secondary. You can't tell me that the Steelers are going to stick with Mitchell Trubisky as their long-term quarterback answer. So I don't know. I think this is going to be critical for them to have a very good, successful draft to help the Steelers get back on track. Or we might see Mike Tomlin's tenure as the Steelers head coach. He's been there a long time. It could come to an end. So number one, Pittsburgh Steelers, they've got to have a good draft.
Is Tomlin the GM?
No.
Okay, then it's not going to be on him. They'll never fire Tomlin. Even if they have a disaster year, they'll fire the GM and rework it from that angle, because if he can't win, it's because he doesn't have good players. Now, they have said the Steelers are looking to move up in the draft to get one of those quarterbacks. I just don't know if it's even going to be possible for them.
I don't think they need a quarterback as much as they need offensive line. I mean, they had a very strong offensive line, and boy, last year it just sucked.
I mean, out of 32 teams, Pro Football Focus has the Steelers' offensive line ranked 26th. So not good. You could replace anybody from tackle to tackle, and it would be an improvement on that offensive line. So I'll go ahead and go with my five here. I got number 5.
On the hot seat.
On the hot seat. All right, I will be on the hot seat. I'll go with number 5. I'm actually going to put the Steelers at 5. That division, the AFC North, has quietly gotten very, very tough. The Bengals obviously going to the Super Bowl. The Browns landing Deshaun Watson to pair with that incredible defense that they have. And the Ravens had maybe some of the worst injury luck of anybody a year ago. Just completely decimated by injury. They're going to be healthier. What do the Steelers do to get back in this mix? Mitchell Trubisky can't possibly be the answer. And they have been tied to Malik Willis. They're making a move up to maybe try and get him. The word on the street is that Mike Tomlin likes Willis a lot.
Guess what? The Jacksonville Jaguars are open for business to trade their pick at number 1.
And that's the thing is people like Malik Willis, but I don't know if anybody wants to go all the way up to number 1 to go get him. Because you're not facing that amount of stiff competition. So I don't know that the Steelers necessarily make that move and give up all the picks that you would have to give up to get to number 1. But whatever it is that they do, that they're going to have to figure out either a move for Willis or fix that offensive line, because they keep drafting talented running backs and then those guys can't do anything because they're running behind one of the worst run blocking lines in the entire league. Number 4, I have the New Orleans Saints. You're moving on from Sean Payton. And now you're kind of heading in a very different direction. You've got a pretty solid defense, but what are you going to be doing at the quarterback position? What are you going to be doing at wide receiver? And maybe you could try and find another running back to give Alvin Kamara some help, because we've already seen what happens to running backs like Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara when you run them into the ground the way that you do. You might have to find a way to get those guys some help. But the Saints are in a weird spot because they're kind of close to being a playoff team. They nearly were a year ago, but they don't have the ability to go much further than that. This is a very crucial draft for them. Then at number 3, I have the New York Football Giants. They are a team that had not too long ago a solid iron grip on the NFC East. They ran that division. They're the worst team in the NFC East right now. And part of it is Daniel Jones. You could blame him a little bit, but that offensive line is really bad. Can't protect Daniel, can't protect Saquon. They don't really have big-time playmakers on the defensive side of the ball either. Their secondary is absolutely atrocious. And you just can't be a team that won Super Bowls that recently and, just continue to put this product out to the fans year after year. Number 2, I'm going to go Carolina Panthers. If they don't figure out how to find some success, especially with the quarterback, if they think Sam Darnold is the answer, then he better be the damn answer. But they have that first pick that can possibly take a quarterback where it would make sense and it wouldn't necessarily be a reach. If they don't get that right, I believe everybody in that building is getting fired by the end of next season, and maybe they won't make it to the end of next season if they struggle the way that they struggled. And the number 1, I have Seattle, the Sea Chickens. They are in a rebuild. I think they want it to be a soft rebuild, but you had a dispute between your quarterback and your 70-year-old head coach and you chose the head coach. So I assume that you want to win sooner rather than later. And they have screwed up many drafts. If they screw this one up, they could be in serious trouble.
Well, they'd have to move up. I think that they should be a trading partner with the Giants and get in on, either 7 or 5. That could help them at least get whatever quarterback they want. But yeah, the Giants with their 2 picks right there, it'd be hard for them to not have a good draft. I mean, they'd have to really blow it. You know what I mean? Having those 2 picks right there seems silly.
Yeah, 2 top 10 picks. I mean, that's a way to turn a team around fast.
Or completely destroy it.
True.
All right, there you go. That's Keon Rose's top 5 at not quite 5. Big George says, wow, not even close. Jeffrey completely dominated this edition.
Yeah.
Jeffrey wiped the floor. Great job, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Oh,
good job, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Randy. Chief Skull says his top 5 teams that need a good draft are number 5, Arizona Cardinals. Number 4, Vikings.
Yeah.
Number 3, Vikings. Number 2, Vikings. Number 1, Vikings.
That's a very broad list.
He's not wrong. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will wrap this thing up. Big George's sports history and the Wheel of Sports on the way. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
If you're worried about your investments, you're not alone. These are challenging times, but it's not time to panic. It's time to act.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, founder and president of Compact Asset Management. With over 40 years of experience in the financial markets, I've seen what panic, indecision, and bad advice can do to investments. When markets are up, especially when they're down, it is important to be decisive yet balanced. That's our approach at Compact Asset Management. Call my office today at pound 250 and say, talk to Mo. We will discuss a proactive, balanced approach to your portfolio that can help safeguard your investments and keep you on track with your financial goals. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's create a strategy for your investments today. Again, from your cell phone, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's get caught up on some of these texts real fast, and we'll get on to the Wheel of Sports and Big George's sports history and all that. Good Cat says Emperor Randy won, actually. All right, well, you got to vote for your top 5 at almost 5, Randy. Of course, he sent that before we even did the top 5 at 5.
Well, I see.
But I guess he's psychic. Booger Wolf says the Pelicans are going to lay a big old Amber Heard on the court tonight. Go Suns. Is that about the pooping on the pillow thing? Hefty Lefty says, with a good draft, the Lions could mess around and contend for a wild card spot. That division is now worse than the AFC South, close to as bad as the NFC East. They play a 4th place team schedule, so it's possible they quietly win 9 games and make the 7th spot in the NFC, or they do what the Lions do and still end up in last place. It behooves them to do the latter, because next year's draft
behooves them.
And they will. I mean, they absolutely will. They're in the perfect position. I mean, we've seen teams talk about trading down. We haven't seen the Lions talk about it. The Lions want whatever the best player is on the board. They'll take him. And then Jared Goff will still be their quarterback, and they'll be drafting a quarterback next year.
Bingo. That's the strategy. Nobody else needs to even worry about it. But Boogie says the Lions have picks 2, 32, and 34. They are not going to be 3, 13, and 1 again. They lost 3 games in just seconds by field goals, including the longest one ever to be kicked. Lions are 8 and 9 this year. Next draft, they pick a quarterback. Not this year.
But if you're 8 and 9, you're not getting the guys you want to get.
Is all you have to say is, oh, Boogie.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't, if I were a Lions fan right now, I don't even know if I would want to be 8 and 9 next year and flirting with the wild card spot, knowing I can't win a Super Bowl when CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are going to be there to be drafted.
Megatron says, can Kamara play football from jail? We checked with our lawyers. The answer is probably not. Probably not. Heavy Metal Maniac says, when are my favorite afternoon radio program coming to buy beer from me here at the ballpark? Ice cold beer. That is a good question. We got to talk about that off air and work our schedules out. I'm ready to go to the game, man.
Yeah, might as well.
And
catch a game, man.
Something we talked about earlier on the show. My requirements of us being able to go out and do a remote broadcast for your health and ours would be the ready and available antivirals. They'll help keep you out of the hospital if you get the COVID. So, and these antivirals have a 90% success rate at keeping you from being hospitalized. So, with the vaccine, if you want them or if you don't, and the antivirals are there. So if you get sick, I bet you want that. I have no reason for us not to go. Does anybody disagree with this sentiment?
No, I think that's the safest way to go about it. There's actually a countermeasure now, just in case someone gets sick, because whether you're vaccinated or not, you can get it. But now there's a countermeasure for just in case you do. I think that's safe.
All right, we'll have to get with the sales goons and have them do their thing, and we'll be out at a bar, a restaurant, a burger place, or God knows what sometime soon. So there you go, Heavy Metal Maniacs. He says, I'm very tall and very loud. You can't miss me. The bright yellow shirt, number 62 on the back. That's Heavy Metal Maniacs. High school bit. Right. Chief Skull says, Boogie is correct. The Lions will not be 3 and 13. They're going to be 2 and 14.
Wow.
He says, I see a run in paper bags for the Lion faithful again. I'll tell you what. If only I owned a paper bag company and I had a storefront in Detroit. Joe,
I think you want your storefront in Cincinnati right now with the Reds fans.
Yeah, what was I thinking? Nobody wants a storefront in Detroit. That's why Detroit is Detroit. Joe, the show says, go remote. Well, that was the whole idea, and we're working on it. All right, guys, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1941, Wrigley Field became the first ballpark in the world to employ an organ to entertain fans when Roy Nelson provided the fans with a pregame serenade of classics and soulful tunes before Chicago dropped the 6-2 decision to the St. Louis Cardinals. The organ, removed after the Cubs homestand, would not return permanently to the friendly confines until 1967. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Wow.
I thought the organs were just sort of always there. I didn't realize that it was a blip on the radar in 41 and then permanently put back in 67. Every movie I've ever seen, every TV show, dun, 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 you hear the organ playing in the background.
Yeah.
And by the way, Keon, you don't have to worry about the dump button. When he says he was employing an organ, that's like a piano thing. It's not like, it wasn't what you were thinking.
Yeah, I thought it was piano thing.
It has these pipes coming out of it, and as air blows through it, and it makes a heck of a noise. So you might want to Google it.
I don't have to. I've
Watch
seen
a
an
YouTube.
organ. I've set foot in a church before. I have seen an organ.
They still have those in churches?
There was one in Chattanooga that I went to that had a gigantic organ.
See, there used to be organs. Now there's some sort of soccer dad looking guy with trying to look hip in skinny jeans, playing a guitar and doing some sort of folksy music thing now. I didn't know they still had organs.
If you go to the older churches, the organs are there, and also the Braves still have an organ.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Fish Tank says, do we know which quarterback the Lions will likely be after next year?
The best one they can
I
get.
mean, if I could, I would get Bryce Young. He's the best one, and then barring that, CJ Stroud.
There you go. That's the idea of Fish Tank, and I'm sure the Lions will find a way to screw it up. You know what?
I like their GM though, Brad Holmes. I like the way his.
You
approach
like
so
the guy
far.
who traded away Stafford for Goff?
Yeah, because he was the new guy, and Stafford. They weren't going to win a Super Bowl with Stafford anyway, so they got the picks to try and rebuild.
How's that going?
Well,
This is
literally his first offseason. So yeah,
Guess we'll see you on Thursday. All right. Well, here, good luck, Boogie. We're sure hoping. All right. Let's go ahead and spin that wheel of sports, Randy. See what we talk about next. So, Kirk Herbstreit, the college football
Kirk
guy.
Herpy Street. Yes,
got it. He always got that little Herpy Street on his lips.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he usually is doing the NFL draft because of his connection to college football, and nobody else wants to. And so, but now it turns out he's not going to do it, and the reason, he had a blood clot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So he says I'm not going to be able to come out to Vegas. Doctors have found a blood clot in my system. Very fortunate to have found it. I have good doctors. I feel good, but out of an abundance of caution, gonna not be in the draft coverage this year. So he says I'll be back next year. So if you love you some Kirk Herbstreit, don't be too upset. He's trying to not die. So there you go.
Yeah, not upset at all, and I hope he gets better.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of announcer stuff, NBC has announced, I don't know if we had a chance to mention this, but Sunday Night Football for you insomniacs, perfect. You'll have Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark. That is now the new Sunday Night Football broadcast team. So if you're feeling a little bit, hey, wow, I wish I could fall asleep, Sunday Night Football music.
Now,
the most boring
broadcast. Yeah.
I mean, Collinsworth is still going to do the Collinsworth thing, but I think that Tirico is going to be a little bit more.
Oh my God, he's so boring.
You think so?
Yeah, I like him. Don't get me wrong. I like him in the studio, but I've heard him call games, and you're like, oh.
I distinctly remember the last time I enjoyed the Monday Night Football broadcast. It was Tirico.
Mike Tirico. Yeah.
So Drew Brees, they're saying he might leave NBC and go to Fox. I don't know if it's because they always made him sit looking this way. He's like, I know why you're making me look this way, because you don't want people to see this horrible birthmark thing on my face. I'm a little offended by that. So Fox will let me sit this way, and then everybody has to see that giant nasty thing on my face. I think that's the reason,
man.
I think that's the reason. Spin the wheel, Randy. All right, so J.R. Smith. You remember J.R. Smith? Couldn't keep his shirt on, ever. He played for the Warriors, and they won a championship. What did he do? Shirt off. No, this is Cavaliers. Which was it? I can't remember.
Cavaliers.
Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
Cavaliers. That's right. So he always shirt off. And so now he got old, and for basketball, and he retired. And he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to college. And we all were like, yeah, that's good for you, man. Get that education. That's great. We're all excited for you. Good luck. And he's, you know what he did? He went out and got a 4.0. And we're like, oh, yes.
Good for him.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I'm shocked. A guy who can't keep his shirt on, I did not see a 4.0 in that future. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's cool. Yeah. So he got himself a 4.0, but also he joined the golf team kind of on a lark, I like golf. I'll join the golf team, keep myself busy, because it wouldn't be fair if I played the basketball. And so he did. And now he has been awarded the North Carolina's AT&T Academic Athlete of the Year award.
How about that? J.R. Smith.
Yeah. The 40-year-old man took the award away from some actual student.
Well, he is an actual student.
No, an actual student who's doing it for their future and not because it's a lark.
Look, if
some
you're-
actual student who's like, I can golf and I could like to try to get good grades and maybe get a good job. I could use a scholarship. Oh, what? Oh, you're full? Why? Oh, J.R. Smith. Oh,
If the only university that was going to take you was North Carolina A&T, I got real bad news for that golf career and the amount of money you were hoping to get from it. I just like J.R. Smith is an amateur. If you were
he
trying to
took
go
that from another kid.
go to college playing golf, you've been playing golf since presumably at least high school. This guy that hasn't been
He
playing
doesn't need it. He's got a Lululemon account now.
That's not what college athletics are about.
Name and likeness. Take that away from some poor kid. Took away somebody's golf scholarship.
Again, if the only place you could go was North Carolina A&T, nothing was taken from you because you didn't have options after that. Like I don't know. I don't.
This academic snobbery is not a good look, Keon. J.R. Smith ruined some kid's life, and that's a fact.
I don't think he did. The kid that was like, "Oh no, boats all full. North Carolina A&T's got J.R. Smith. I'm gonna go to any other university
backup school to the backup school to the backup school to the backup school." But still, he took it from another kid.
Wow!
Shame on you, J.R. Smith. Shame on you. Sorry to end the show on this sort of a note, but go Suns, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. J.R. Smith.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach